Why don't you just forget about yourself for a moment and say, I can't believe Richard Christie's going and Fred's not.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either.
I mean, if I was allowed to bring somebody, I would definitely bring you, but
Oh, my God. He would be a date?
Bring him as a date.
Why don't you bring him? Seriously.
You think? Well, I'll talk to Ross and see.
But if Richard wasn't going, why would you wouldn't care then, would you?
That's a good question.
What was your question?
If Richard wasn't going, Richard going changes everything for him.
It's killing him.
If Richard wasn't going, he wouldn't even give it a second
But
thought.
it almost makes it like there was a possibility that he could go if Richard's going, right?
Yeah, sort of, you know. I don't know. Richard's such a nice guy, and, you know, whatever. I come off as a pompous ass, so I can see that Ross doesn't like me. I understand, whatever.
I don't know that he doesn't like you. But I'm sure Richard's less trouble.
If I could get you into the wedding, would you go?
Yeah, in a heartbeat. I would love to.
Even if you had to go just by yourself without your wife.
Well, that would be a little difficult, but yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know.
Wait a minute, what about you got a gig?
That's another story altogether. Forget about that one. What? The gig?
Yeah.
Robin, it's a bar in Staten Island.
You know,
actually,
still,
it's a very nice place.
Yeah, just think
committed to him.
At the wedding, Sal and I could drink. Richard and I are going to get blasted. We're going to be up on stage performing.
Yeah.
You know,
great.
It's going to be so much fun.
You have a tuxedo?
But in all honesty, I don't think Sal should go because he wasn't invited.
But you can't invite... I mean, first of all, they didn't ask Richard with a guest.
Right.
So he's not supposed to bring somebody.
And it is, if he brought Sal, it might be a little awkward for Ross, because maybe Sal's right. Maybe there is a reason
Sal,
he didn't invite him.
Why don't you just beg Ross on the air?
Nah, I would never do that.
Go ahead.
You know what? There is a slot.
Ross is listening right now.
There is a slot open because Ralph is not coming.
You know, what about that? Ralph's not going.
What about the slot?
That's what I heard. I heard there's a slot open.
Hey, let me ask you a question. If you were going, just on the what would you give?
That's a good point.
Oh, yeah, you got to come up with a gift.
I'd give Howard oral.
What does Howard have to do with this?
What about a gift?
I'd take care of him.
How much?
A couple of bucks, $50, $60.
I don't know if you're going to get invited now.
No, I'm sorry.
I'd give him a lecture. That's what I'd give him. What the hell is he doing getting married? He's out of his mind.
All right.
Guy's loaded tons of cash, and he's shacking up with his broad. He's done.
You wouldn't even want to go to a wedding unless I was going.
Yeah, you didn't want to. Ross's wedding means nothing to you. It's that
Ross's weddings means nothing to anybody. I mean,
you want to spend Saturday night with me.
That's not
right?
true.
I'm not meaning that's...
Here's the question. Say Howard couldn't go for some other commitment. Would you go if you were invited?
Would you care?
Would I care?
Or Quivers and I already enough of a draw.
Would you then blow off a gig to go to this wedding?
Like if it was just me going, would you still go or would?
No, because I have a comedy show.
Dude, you're so two-faced.
I have a comedy show at Circles this Saturday. I'm not two-faced.
No, you're right. You're right out in the open.
All right, anyway, so I'm glad. Listen to me. Listen to me. You're a dodo head. You're a dodo head.
Wait.
Richard's not invited. We've been yanking your crank.
Why don't you just Will pulled you to that room so we can tell the audience about you?
Dummy.
I hate you all.
He has been suffering.
No, yeah, good.
How long has this been going on?
The audience is so happy right now.
Dummy.
He looks disgusted.
It's funny. You're so insecure.
Aren't you embarrassed about yourself?
He was in here during the commercials going, I can't believe a slot opened up and I'm not invited. Richard Christie is.
He was cussing at me in the office.
Not at you.
Well, no, you were cussing about the wedding, though. You're saying, well, maybe Ross will call in and invite me or something.
Oh, man. You'd even take a last-minute invite.
So you're a big fag, and you better get used to it.
How am I a big fag? I wanted to hang out with the guys.
So you want to hang out with Howard?
Yeah.
You don't even want to hang out with the guys. You want to hang out with that guy.
Hey, joke or no joke, I'm still not invited to this wedding.
Right.
Usually at the end of a joke, hey, and by the way...
you shouldn't be invited.
Why would you be invited to this wedding?
Did it ever dawn on you, did you ever stop to think, why would Richard be invited? It's so obvious he wouldn't be.
I'm not surprised that Richard would be invited because Richard's such a likable, nice guy. I can see Ross bumping into Richard.
So are you. What do you mean?
Bumping into him.
Nobody thinks I'm a nice guy.
But I've only met Ross as many times as you have.
Like 3.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a disaster because this is turning into about me. Someone else came up to me and said, "Oh, I understand the main table," and I thought they were talking about Ross's table. They're talking about my table.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the main table will be the following people.
You'll be like the king of the wedding.
I want to know why is Artie going. Nobody knows. I mean, how well do you know Ross, Artie?
Actually, I've hung out with Ross a bunch of times in the last, 3 or 4 years, and I've always had a blast with him.
Ross.
I have an announcement. The wedding's off.
Oh, you don't even want to know. Gary has sworn me not to talk about it, but Gary started talking to me about the table arrangements, and I'm livid. I am absolutely livid over it.
But I don't think you should be.
First off, why are you livid over it?
Because you're making this whole thing where I can't sit with the people from my show because who else would I sit with?
I put you at a table. You knew every single person at the table.
You put me at a table with all your friends because you want to make
Wait a second.
Is that the wedding party table?
It's you and Robin.
No, it's not the wedding party table. It's me, Robin.
Richie.
Right.
Good friend of yours. There's 2 other people.
There's Booker.
Oh, okay.
Mike.
All right.
Portnoy.
Okay.
Robin. And the douchebag who was supposed to show up who decided to freeload off of Sam Simon.
Ralph was supposed to be there.
Wait, and you told me...
No, that's it. I thought that...
That's it?
That's it.
All right, we should present it a different way.
All right.
Howard sounded like Martha Stewart at the break. You should have seen him.
What about Artie? Where's he sitting?
Artie's with John and Susanna.
Stuttering John?
Yeah.
No. Now you put Artie with him.
What was that?
Put Artie at my table.
Great. Let me go get the board now and just mix it up like a Yahtzee board.
No. Seriously, Ross.
By the way, and Sal, eBay.com, there's you can bid to get into the wedding.
What are you going to do with the Ralph slot? Do you just bite the money on that, or are you going to do something?
No, he had a deadline, and he graciously, called me in time, so...
You mean he was able to pull Sam Simon out of his mouth for a minute?
While he was in between his ride down PCH and his Bentley.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's right. I'm telling you, he's like a captain. You don't even know what's going on.
I don't want to know because it would kill me.
Our friend Richie was out in California, so he went over to see Ralph staying at Sam Simon's, and he said that Ralph walks around like a married woman, and this is where we're putting our guest house. This is where we're... This is my food that the servant leaves for me. And
this is my servant.
And he drives around in a Bentley.
He's...
Yeah.
I got to tell you, he was so stressed. He called me. His biggest dilemma the other day was calling me, while he was driving the Bentley going, I'm trying to get a ticket back to New York, but then back to L.A. again. I'm like, don't be mad. I go, I don't care what you do. Just tell me what don't leave me hanging. But he's having the time of his life.
Because it costs money, right?
Sam's got to buy him a ticket to New York, a ticket back to L.A., and give him money for your gift. It's expensive for Sam.
He's a sugar daddy. Ralph's got a sugar daddy.
Yeah. He's totally hooked up.
This is not his first one, as far as I'm concerned.
In fact, he dumped Stamos.
That's what I'm saying. Stamos used to be.
He dumped him. He did, because Stamos is happy.
Because Stamos doesn't really give him the lifestyle he wants.
Because Stamos likes vagina, that's why.
Sam's into vagina.
Sam's.
I thought so.
I'm telling you, something's going on there. A guy is not this good to another guy.
That's what I think.
See, Stamos has a whole scene going around, so Ralph can't suck everything dry off it. At Sam's house, it's just Ralph and Sam.
Right.
So it's all for Ralph.
Because Sam's lonely.
Yes, Ralph doesn't have to compete with any women.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
I do.
I think Ralph said he's going to go to masseuse school.
Really?
I wonder if Ralph walks around naked in his house.
How you holding up, pal? You going to make it to this thing or what?
Yeah, I got a bit of a cold, but I'm fine.
I told you to call me. I thought you were going to call me last night.
I know. Then I just got stuck at work, and then I had to go meet the folks. Took them to the Nobu.
Oh, good. Okay.
But everything's fine.
All right. I zapped him on the email, and I said to him, you okay? Seriously, you want to talk at all?
Uh-huh.
Even though I'm the worst guy to talk to.
Right, yeah, don't talk to him before your wedding.
So he goes, yeah, I'm going to call you in a few minutes, and he blew me off.
I'm sorry, I'll call you today.
No,
I'm afraid you'll give me one of those lectures.
No. I'm having a great time.
Yes.
Yeah, he's looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Oh, I'm sure you can't wait.
I'll tell you one thing, Howard. You really better never get married. Because you will take so much crap.
I thought that...
I mean, really, you have dished it out.
The other day I was feeling romantic, and I went, what would life be like if I got... I went,
See, you have the brain that goes there. Yeah. Go ahead and do it.
See, now that's the seed of a thought, which you didn't own 5 years ago.
Go ahead and do it. You won't be able to fight off that thought
You didn't
forever.
even own that thought 5 years ago.
That's right.
He's always owned that thought. He suppressed it.
She's right. What about... No, man. I'm into you getting married.
That's going to be good.
Hey, I heard Randy Gerber isn't in the wedding party. The other big celebrity is Cindy Crawford, and I'm hoping she's going to take some of the heat away from me.
The porn star?
No, Cindy Crawford, the real model chick. And,
settle down, kids.
So I was glad that they are going to be walking down the aisle, too, in the wedding party.
Yeah.
Then I heard it's just me and...
what happened?
Beth and...
I'm going to hire some impersonators to walk down, so, you know.
Are they not coming at all?
They're coming, but...
He's not in the wedding party. I forgot that because he came to the bachelor party. I forgot that he wasn't in the wedding party.
I thought he's a better friend to you than I am.
That is correct now. Come on. Everybody's my friend.
All right. All right, good luck, man. No one wants me talking about your wedding.
I can't wait for this to be over.
Now look at your friends. They're ranking themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, we did that already.
Yeah, they did.
We ranked each other because what happened was, this is a funny story.
Oh, yeah?
Ross has two best men because he couldn't decide. His buddy Mike, his buddy Yogi. So he went to our other buddy Ross, and he said, listen, it was very close. You know, it was very, you were really my next choice. So Ross calls me up, the other Ross calls me up, he goes, hey, guess what? I'm number 3. So then we all ranked each other. I think I'm 5, Booker 6. We're not sure where you are.
Sounds like
you're 14 because you didn't come to the bachelor party.
Right.
It sounds like The Bachelor for queers or something. He's handing out roses.
You're the queerest.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Yeah, sounds like, where am I?
You always said Beth doesn't care about marriage, but if you proposed to her, would she say yes?
I don't know. I believe she would.
In a heartbeat.
But
she'd say yes, of course.
But she doesn't. It's not a burning passion of hers to
Let
be
me
married.
tell you something. This wedding is going to burn her.
I was going to say, does this bring difficulty, this wedding?
Crush her. Women love to see that.
Well, certain women, and I'm not going to mention any names, have said to her, don't worry, you're next.
And so probably somebody's going to aim a bouquet at her.
I know.
They have that bouquet throwing.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, which makes life easy.
See, Dana's short. She doesn't have a shot at that bouquet.
Yeah, good. Good luck.
That's right. You hold her up, Artie. Put her on your shoulders.
I ain't holding anyone up.
But I don't think she needs, like, she's never said to me, I need to be married.
No, but you know what? There's a weird thing that happens
like
when you go to a wedding. There's a wave, you sort of women get swept up in
magic.
A mood. There is a magic that goes on, and they start to get...
Well, trust me, Ross's wedding will have no magic.
Hey.
Hopefully.
He's going to be there. Hey, Artie, do you need the 86 vintage Jack there or not?
Yeah, I'll be fine with a Pellegrino.
Okay.
Yeah, or a Coca-Cola.
Glass of Jack.
Yeah, right. Ross, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it, man.
I hope you can.
It'll be fun. Relax.
Yeah, we hope you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we got to go.
All right, later, guys.
Later.
I'll enjoy it.
Poor Artie.
How does anybody in their right mind get married these days? I'll never understand it.
Romantic Sal over there.
That's all married men say that.
What were you thinking when you got married?
I must have been
could
on
talk to
ecstasy
you.
or something.
How old were you when you got married, Sal?
26.
No.
Nobody sat you down and had a...
Yeah, my wife. I said, let's do this.
See, after listening to this show, I'll never get married.
Oh,
Just from the horror
how are you even going to get close to getting
You have
married?
to have sex with a woman to marry her.
Me and my computer.
Are you, like, totally miserable?
She's a good mom, and...
That's not the question.
Like,
How are you?
You didn't marry a mom.
No, I'm happy, but I got to live with this broad,
Okay, can I say something funny about Sal? Can I say something funny about her? Tonight, you know what Sal's doing tonight, which I am shocked at?
What?
What am I doing?
The interns are having a party in
Yeah.
their apartment.
Right.
Sal's going. Married guys don't go to intern parties. End of sentence.
He's in love with the interns.
When the interns look like this, they don't go.
Yeah. Are you really going to an intern party?
Nah, what are you, nuts?
He's mentoring.
I would never go to an intern party, honey. Thanks for listening.
He hadn't said that he
He's
was
just going to look in through the window.
Well, he said he was thinking about going. I guess no. I'm sorry.
I'm thinking about going.
He was working late tonight.
So,
one of the interns hates Sal. One of the hot chick interns. Which one?
Kelly.
Claudia?
Kelly.
Oh,
No.
Kelly. Kelly, to me, Kelly should have won the intern beauty
Yeah, I heard you
pageant.
say that. She's hot.
I really do feel
They're all
that way.
hot. But Kelly's mad because Sal gave her a 4.
Yeah.
And
took her out of the running.
Like she could have won. In essence,
Here's Kelly. First of all, for my money, Kelly, if it makes you feel any better, totally I thought about it. You should have won the intern beauty
Listen,
pageant.
Howard, you have some control in this.
How? It's over.
Nah, it's
I
done.
know, it's over.
He
It's
appointed
done.
the judges. That was his control.
she feels like Sal took $5,000 out of her pocket.
Yeah,
5, not even 1,
All right, what place did you go? You gave her 4th. That's right.
4th.
So she only got $500 and an MP3 player instead of the.
Why
30...
did you do that to her, Sal?
I was a judge. I didn't do anything.
I know why.
Why?
Because he's in love with
It's for
you.
your ratings, quote unquote.
No, it's because he's in love with you.
He said ratings.
It's because he's in love with you, and you won't have to love.
I'm grossed out.
It's like guys in high school that pick on the girls they like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How old are you, Sal?
Why?
How old are you?
He's 36.
36.
You act like you're like 12 and a half. Like, not even. You're like a child.
That's
it's
why I'm here.
disgusting.
You know what it's about? Seriously?
What?
Sal wants you so bad.
Right.
I mean, I'm being honest with
You
you.
probably ignored him.
He probably ignored him.
No, we're like friends, too.
No, but he probably thinks he's all angry. You're a hot chick. I mean, there's no... Hands down, you should have won that interview.
Thanks, Howard.
Hands down.
You
No
certainly
question.
didn't deserve a 4.
And the 4 is so obvious.
Yeah.
But he's pissed.
Right,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
He's pissed. You're every chick who ever rejected him, and now he's pissed.
I'm sorry about the 4.
Now let's hear the truth from you, though.
I got a question. I got a question for Sal.
You're dating Nico.
Okay, you gave her a 4,
right.
right? How come you didn't give any of the other girls a score below 8?
8s and 9s. What
All
is
right,
that?
Here we go. You want to know?
Yeah, I want to know.
There was 3 parts of the program here. You had to sing a song, which I gave you a 5 on. Your looks, I gave you a 7 on.
A 7?
Yeah.
You think she's a 7?
Yeah. Well,
He is so
7's a nice. 7's a nice number.
You think she's the 4th best looking girl in that group? Is what you're saying?
Yeah. So I gave her a 7, and then I gave her personality about a 2. So do the math. It's a 4.
You think she's the 4th best looking chick in that group?
Yeah.
Oh, you're
lying. You kill me.
I think they're all beautiful. I think Kelly is beautiful.
Well, why is her personality a 2?
Right. Yeah.
Because she really carries herself as somebody who is better than everybody else.
Oh, my God. Let's start, Sal. Okay, I have a good story.
Let's hear the story.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait, I just want to say something. Which is fine. You're very, very confident, but it comes off a little arrogant.
I am totally arrogant, 100%.
Right.
I'm not even going to
that,
pretend.
You come off stuck up. You definitely come off as a girl who knows. Listen, no matter what I gave you, that $2,500, for the rest of your life, you're going to be taken care of. You already had won.
Oh.
You were won the second you shot out of your mother's uterus. Believe me. You are.
See, that's why he gave
You're
you
bitter, so you're angry
That's
about
not
it.
fair.
You're like a bitter old man.
It is fair. It is fair. You know what?
She's a pretty girl, so you're mad at her.
I'm not mad at her at all. I just said she's a pretty girl. I said personality was a 2.
The 4th pretty girl.
You know what? So many guys.
Tell me your story.
Here's my story about Sal. The other day, this is why Sal thinks I have an issue with, taking, what did you say, taking instruction. When we get phone calls, if someone calls for Sal, I'm like, oh, Sal, you have a phone call for you. If he walks in to our back office, Kelly, I'm never here. Never tell anyone I'm here. They're doing nothing.
That's so untrue.
So I'm like, all right, Sal, you sure you don't want this call? It's so-and-so. He's like, oh, okay, I'll take that one. I'm like, oh, okay, you'll take that one. And then
Sal gets calls?
Like,
it was Kamal the jerky boy.
From weirdos.
From Kamal? From Kamal the jerky boy.
And he yells at me like a diva.
I don't yell at you.
You totally did. And he goes, you know what, Kelly, you have trouble taking direction.
what,
I'm like,
Kelly?
I don't take direction from people who
Kelly, you
are
know
you.
what? This is radio. Get used to it. Today I just got called a fag for the 1,000th time in a year.
Well, that's because what you are.
All right, that's fine. But you know what? You don't see me crying around the hallways.
I'm not crying.
Do you think Sal will...
There you go. There's 1,001.
Do you think Sal's sexually attracted to you?
I have no idea. I don't get him. Like, what do you do here? What's your job?
Certainly not you.
Well, that wasn't my question. What do you do here for Howard Stern?
I don't do anything.
He writes comedy, you do song parodies, you do prank phone calls, but yet you still run around in a purple thong as...
That's part of the comedy of the show.
That's part of it? You furthering your career as a...
She wants to know why she got to fall. Listen to this, bro.
No, I don't.
Maybe he's got a little bit of a point there, Kelly.
Kelly, man,
yeah, I
just
take
way
offense
too
to that. I
uptight.
love walking around in thongs, too.
Kelly.
Oh, I like you, Richard. You're funny.
Kelly, the thing is, you're just way uptight. It's cool. Just relax.
Everything was cool, but...
You have this attitude like you're better than
everybody. Do you think Sal shaves his chest?
He's a Guido with a gold chain. And
all right, so now you're putting down Italians.
No, I'm Italian.
Now you're a racist.
No, I like real Italian.
Do you find Sal attractive?
Real
like,
Italian sausage.
No.
Would you ever be with Sal?
No, not in a million years.
Like if
with
he
F,
was
marry,
nicer
kill, like we said that we would probably F you. We'd kill Sal, definitely.
I can't wait till you get married and your ass blows up like a squirrel.
Oh, I can't wait either.
I don't think that's going to happen with her.
I can't wait.
Wow. So a lot of bad feelings.
I have no
after
problem with
the
Kelly. She's bitter. Leave it at that. What are you going to do? Another pain in the ass broad.
You have no problem. You just delineated a lot of problems.
I did. She's the one who's uptight.
Do you think Sal should get divorced?
Why not? I don't understand. Like, you're an embarrassment to your children. What are you doing? Like, you run around.
He shouldn't even see his children.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? I don't understand. Like, your poor wife. I feel for her.
Go console her. You sound just like her.
I
right
would.
now.
Like, I feel bad for her.
That's what he's doing. He would, if he's making you his wife, he's punishing you because he can't punish her.
If I made her my wife, she'd be in duct tape at the bottom of a swamp right now.
Right. Just like your wife.
That's hilarious. You're so good today.
I'm not trying to be good. I'm being honest.
You're a comedian today.
Just like you're a 4. I was being honest.
Practicing your stand-up? No, but then why'd you apologize to me over and over again? Kelly,
I said
baby, I'm sorry. Baby, I'm sorry. Baby.
Cursing me out.
Cursing you out. I go, don't talk to me. You're like, baby, it was for the rating.
Don't call the interns baby, Sal.
Yeah, we're interns. You're not supposed to hit on us or walk around with your scrotum.
I can't, God forbid it, yeah. I have another word instead of baby. I can't say it.
Have you ever pleasured yourself to the thought of her, Sal?
Be honest.
To the thought of her being stabbed in the head, yes.
Then why do you check me out? Why are you like, hey, like, run around, you like bump butts with me? Like, that's so weird.
Do you think I really check you out?
Remember the armpit thing and the boob thing? I'm like, Sal, you're looking at my breast? You're like, yes.
Have you ever thought about Kelly when you're wanking? To be honest.
I've thought about Kelly Osbourne. I mean, I do it to everybody.
Have you ever thought about Kelly?
Of course.
Okay.
But that doesn't, listen, I don't hate Kelly.
Kelly, have you ever thought about Sal?
You're mad because she's so pretty.
I'm not mad. I'm being honest about...
You feel she's going to hook up with a really wealthy guy.
You want me to be a phony? I'll be a phony. I'm being honest about her personality. I did all the math. 7 for looks. 7 is good.
She's better than a 7.
All right, according to you.
All right,
7. A 2 in personality and a 4 for the song, or whatever it was. That's it.
She did her song really well.
You know
Thanks,
what?
Robin.
Then give her the money, Robin. You're loaded. Give her $2,500. Send her on her way.
Sal
Get out of
did
my
what he
hair.
had to do, but
all these words are the same. That's why hookers rule.
I can't believe that these guys get so upset with girls who come here as part of their education.
Those girls are all the same. They prance around, they walk around. All they want is cash and power. You throw a couple of drinks down their gullet, and they're good to go. They're all a bunch of trashy pigs.
Sal, you're a mess.
Believe me when I tell you. They all
Your
are,
wife
except my mom and my sister.
But your wife married you. You had no money.
Oh, as soon as I passed the Series 7, that's when she sat me down. And I was at Artie's party.
The Series 7.
Scott DePace goes.
The Series 7 is the test to become a stockbroker. Now he's in.
Oh,
now he's in as a stockbroker.
He
told me a story that I actually felt really bad for him, Howard. He and his wife were sitting around last week, again, begging her to have sex with him. And he said, please, honey, just come on, please, tonight. And what did she say to you about your wallet?
Oh, no, I didn't say that. I said, what happened to what you used to do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about.
The mouth.
Yeah, the mouth. And she goes, take a look at your wallet. I'm like, oh, my God. She said that. Wow. You see, look, the bottom line is this.
Wow. You're treated like that.
Kelly's beginning to feel sorry for you.
Everybody.
Women, listen, I hate that. Women want cash and material items.
What do you want? Besides Richards.
Men want 1 or 2 things. I would live in a tent with a kerosene heater if I could wake up to a mouth every morning in the right spot. That's all we want, and women don't understand that. That's what it comes down to. So when you see a broad like this prancing around like a prima donna, the bottom line is that it all comes down to this. You want a couple of bucks, you want a little power, you want some material, and in turn, you're going to be a whore.
Fun. Why are you so bitter?
In return. I'm not
going to be a whore in return,
it's
Sal.
All the same.
Who are you? I don't understand. I just don't get it.
I'm telling the truth. Women are all phony broads.
What are you? You're the phoniest person I've ever met in my entire life, Sal.
I'm telling you.
You are the most insecure comedian stockbroker I've ever met in my entire life. You run around like if Howard says anything, you'll stand outside the door. You'll walk back and forth and touch your head. You don't even know what to do. You're panicked. Panic.
I'm committed to making the show good. That's why I panic.
You talk like you're the most secure person. Like, you don't know anything.
What's security have to do with this, you dumbass? This has nothing to do with security.
That's no way to have a conversation with a lady.
Wait a minute. She's not a lady. Hold on.
She is to a lady.
She's an intern. Remember that.
What does me being insecure, I'm a human being, have to do with anything about relationships? Broads want cash. Guys want ass. Get it through your thick skull.
You're a pig. You're just a pig. Like, that's what you are.
Do you really
think
everybody? All guys want is...
Dude,
you don't think
why are you with Beth Ostrowski? Because she looks like Rosie O'Donnell? Dude, she's a piece of ass.
She's also not a lesbian.
Wait, let me say something. I've dated a few pieces of ass.
Right.
Why am I with her over some other piece of ass?
Because she's stunning.
Why else? I've had other stunning women. There's got to be more to it when you stay with a chick 5 years. than just stunning.
Because
she's a nice person.
Right.
And
she
we're
talks
compatible.
A good game. She talks
You
a good
think
game.
she's talking the game?
She's been acting for 5 years?
Nothing against Beth. Every chick.
According
a good game.
Why is Sal,
Quivers?
He's got a good wallet. That's why she's still working.
Right, your wallet gets thin.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Chicks don't want phone numbers. They want bank account numbers. Beth bagged the whale with you. Believe me when I tell you. Robin Quivers.
All right, now answer me this. I'm going to buy into it, but let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Account and she's not married.
Now, let me ask you this.
She's abroad. She's got the cash already. She doesn't need to get married.
Before Beth met me, she was dating a guy who's worth over $1 billion.
She knows how to play the game. I'm not surprised.
Wait a second. Why? And he wanted to marry her. Jesus. Why didn't she marry him?
She didn't think, according to Sal. I'll tell you exactly how Sal thinks.
Good-looking guy.
She couldn't keep up the act for him. There was something that really turned her off about it.
You're
That's
good.
what he would say.
All right.
Robin, is there some truth to what I say?
No.
Are you a filthy whore, Robin?
To you, it makes sense to you.
Listen to me. Men go to school. They work hard. Look, your love is radio. My love is also this as well. But the thing is that you strive to do something to be successful for yourself. A woman, her whole thing is her body. That is her college education. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
A woman's body is her college. A woman's mind is her future. When a woman bags a guy like Howard Stern, her whole commodity is staying tight, right, sleeping naked, saying that she doesn't want to get married, saying she doesn't want to have kids. She's singing your song, dude. She's playing your piano. Don't you know what I'm trying to say? And she's bagging you. That's how a woman bags the whale. They sing your song. And what does a guy want? A look. That's it. And you know what? And when I get married...
And that drains your brain right out of you, right?
I have 3 kids, a mortgage, a car, a pain in the ass that tells me to take off my shoes when I get in the house, and I don't get blah, 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 blah. I'm ready to kill myself and give girls like Kelly a 4.
So get divorced. Why are you wasting her time?
Right. That's a good point.
If you're so bitter, you think we're whores, whatever, then why are you still married? Then get rid of her, make some more money, save your... That's what you said. All women are that.
You're saying... You're saying all women.
She doesn't do whorish things.
Is your wife
I do.
My wife is guaranteed not a whore. I wish she was. If she was, I'd be the happiest guy in the world.
You're making no sense now.
I am making sense. The point that I'm trying to make...
You're saying all women are whores except your wife.
No, all women are whores until
she stopped being one.
All women are whores until they get married, until they bag the whale.
So then they're still whores.
No, they whore you in, and then they're done. They push their luggage down, their asses blow up, and they start treating you like their mothers.
I'm really mad Sal's not going to the wedding.
Because he loves marriage.
He loves marriage, yeah.
My wife's a great mom. She's a beautiful lady. And
you haven't said anything about her that you like regarding you.
It's about
She's
me.
a great mother, and she looks good. But what do you guys have in common? What are the 3 greatest qualities about your wife that have...
Didn't your wife tell you no oral because your wallet was too small? Is your wife a whore?
My wife's not a whore, and she...
she's an absolute prostitute. You got no money, you get no play.
She's a call girl.
Right.
The thing is this.
You're calling all women.
Just take a gun and shoot me.
I understand all the interns have a problem. A lot of the interns have a problem with you.
That's fine. Let them all have fun.
Everybody has a problem.
We're all whores. We all have problems.
That's fine. I don't care. Let them all have a problem.
If you have a problem, come in.
You know what? Every intern came up to me after this pageant and said they're glad I gave Kelly a 4. How about that?
Oh,
I'm glad you did, too.
No.
Makes for great radio.
I'm talking about the interns, Kelly. I'm not talking about you.
But I'm glad, too. Oh, we got a few of them in here, Sal. Apparently, a few more people have problems.
Who wants to chime in next?
Hey, Sal.
Uh-oh. He looks at
Sal's actually very sweet to me, I have to say, but...
You're a whore.
But?
No.
Apparently so.
About what?
Sal. Thanks, Kelly. Sal, I mean, I think maybe you shouldn't have given Kelly a 4, but you had to go with what you wanted to do. I guess, I mean, what do you think, Kelly? Like...
Well, we obviously know what I think.
We already heard what she thinks. You want to say anything, Claudia?
I wasn't going to say anything before. I was actually kind of upset, you know. I love Sal, but these things I'm hearing back there, what is going on?
I'm not talking about you.
He's angry.
You're saying women in general?
every other woman in the world.
He's angry.
You should be shot for that. You are a horrible person.
Take me out of my misery.
That is it. We're done.
All right. Anyway, listen, it's been a while. We have to take a break.
You know, that's just the way it is.
By the way, all our beautiful interns are leaving today. This is their last.
Thank God.
Ashley's last day is today.
It's my last day. But Sal, I have to say I was very disappointed because I've always thought you were a great person. And
what the F did I do?
I was really surprised to hear some of the stuff when I was back there because I didn't think you were like that. I mean, I'm sure
you're getting whacked.
Yeah.
Can I ask Sal a question?
Crazy.
I got a question for Sal. So what's the process now? Like, do you go home and hope your wife didn't hear the show?
What's
do you go home
here?
Do you go home and tell her a lie? Do you tell her this is a joke?
What's the lie?
If you walk in the door,
what's the lie? I'm talking about women and men. What's the lie? A woman wants to beg a guy with a lot of cash, and that's it.
And if your wife says to you, Sal, is that me? What do you say?
To her, without anybody around, I say, of course not.
But Sal,
how do you explain like my first marriage? I had no cash.
Well, right.
So what are you saying?
You think she saw potential?
I don't know what happened. You know, there are...
That broke the rule. No,
I don't know. I don't know.
I know lots of guys got married. They didn't have any great future in terms of money.
But listen to me. This is my perception because I don't have necessarily a great, married life. So, you know,
really?
What can I tell you?
You're willing to say about Sal these are only your perception.
Yes, Tom Chiusano wants.
I just want to point one thing out.
Yes, Tom.
That even if Sal had given Kelly an 8, that Deandra, who was a very popular winner around the office, a very, very popular winner, would have been tied or maybe even still won by a point.
She deserved it more than anyone. That was our
That's not the point.
A 4 is a slap in the face.
He's a judge, and he's allowed to give whatever he wants.
As Kelly said, though, he knocked her all the way out of the running.
A 4 says there's no way you're going to win this contest.
Right.
All right, listen.
This is what happens when Sal the stockbroker is a judge. It's a marathon.
You're not Ralph.
It's funny,
Stop
too, Howard, because he tried really hard to get out of it. He was like, I don't think I'd be funny. I don't think I'd be good at being a judge.
I thought he did a good job.
Sal, you were the backup judge, first of all.
No, he wasn't. He was the initial judge.
He was an initial judge.
No.
Yes, he was.
Too bad.
He should have been the backup.
Beautiful interns, thank you all.
Thank you, Howard.
I'm glad you had this out on the air. It's interesting to me.
And Kelly, you know,
I didn't even do the contest because I wasn't willing to compromise myself in some ways. Not that I pass any judgment, but how can you say that women will do anything for money when I wouldn't even do certain things? So
you're the exception too. You and my wife. Anybody else wants to come forward?
I understand there's a big intern party tonight. Is that right?
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Promise?
Now, Sal is invited?
Sal's invited. He said he'd do shots with me.
Wow. Oh, isn't that nice of you?
Shots on your ass.
Remember
thanks, Sal. What is that?
What
is that?
Wait, I mean, are you guys acting like this is the first time Sal's...
No, this is the first time I'm going to say something. You crossed the line way too much.
That's great.
How?
Just that, I mean, you're not going to go to an intern party. Look at you, he's laughing. I can't stand it. I'm going to leave. I have to leave.
Oh, these girls are so easy.
Well, girls, have a good time at the intern party. I think it'll be fun.
Do you agree, Howard? I mean, doesn't he cross the line a little bit sometimes?
I think
is it funny?
I think he's no, I think Sal's very funny.
Oh, no, I think he's funny, too.
And
we all cross the line. I'm just sad. I'm a sad guy, that's all. I'm sad.
He's a sad guy.
He's a beaten.
Let me tell you something.
It's a room of sad guys, by the way. Look around.
You got caught in Sal's nightmare.
Sal's nightmare. He's unhappy. You all three of you, beautiful girls. He's probably going home. He's pleasuring himself to you, thinking about you guys.
He's tortured by my mind.
And it's a big torture.
Yeah.
It's a torture. It's embarrassing to him.
Last night...
you girls are college girls, and he can't even score.
And, yeah, he's at the best he'll ever be.
He can't score because he's married.
And he still can't do anything about it.
And you know what? That's why, because I'm committed to my wife, and I'll never cheat. That's why I'm frustrated.
Are you committed to her because you love her, or are you committed to her because you're afraid of losing half of everything?
I don't have
everything.
There's nothing left.
There's nothing to leave.
Empire.
His empire.
A neon.
All right, I've got to take a break. Girls.
Here's half my coin collection, honey.
Welcome to Sal's Nightmare. And we'll be back right after these words.
Folks, and a very pleasant Tuesday. Welcome to Tradio, where we buy, sell, trade, and give away on a non-commercial basis. Let's wheel and deal. And caller number 1, welcome to the Tradio Show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, sir. I hope you are.
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. My name's Jack Devaney. And I inherited this from my great-great-grandfather. It was from WW2. It's a jar containing several gold teeth from Auschwitz. I don't have the value of the gold teeth. I know it was picked out of one of the prisons in the camps and it's about 7-8 teeth, about 11 ounces of gold Jewish teeth from Auschwitz.
Okay.
And it's authentic, comes with a certificate of authenticity. Is a picture of my great-grandfather in front of the camps holding the jar.
Okay.
I figure we get maybe $75 to $100 for it.
Okay.
My uncle also used to work in a medical lab. It's a used urine cup from Milton Berle, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity, and it still has some used urine left in the cup.
Used urine.
And we want $1,500 for that.
Okay, sir. How can we reach you, please?
You can reach me on my work line, 516-922-WINE, W-I-N-E. I'm in the liquor business.
Okay, thank you for your call. Number 5, welcome to the Tradio Show.
Hi, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hi, how you doing today?
Well, what can I do for you?
Well, I got 3 items to sell.
Okay.
My grandson, hold on one second, I wrote them down here. My grandson he's selling a motorcycle. Hello?
Yes.
Hi, hold on, I got them written down here, I'm sorry. He's selling a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find what year it is here. Hold on. Yeah.
2738 if you'd like to be on the Tradio call today. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, hi, I'm sorry. It's a motorcycle
okay.
for my grandson.
Okay.
I'm scrambling here for the year. I'm sorry, my place is a mess.
Okay, you want to call us? You want to call us back when you get all your information?
Oh, here it is.
Okay,
1973.
All right, good. Okay.
All right. He even has that fake laugh down, like when the woman goes, "Okay, here," and he goes,
Motorcycle.
All right. What else do you have for us?
200, and I got a hair dryer that I want to sell.
Okay.
And hold on, I got the box over here with all the information. Hold on. Westinghouse.
Okay, sir.
And hold on. I'm looking for the.
All right, 27. Excuse me, sir. 27. If you'd like to be on the Tradio Show today, go ahead, sir. And what was your third item, please?
The third item?
Uh-huh.
I got a walker that I used to use.
Okay.
And I don't need to use it anymore. I got an operation. And
okay, how can we reach you today, sir?
I'm sorry, this is but it's a brand name walker.
Okay, we'll be back after the break.
I love when he goes, uh-huh.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tradio. So let's get down to the Tradio nitty-gritty. And good morning, you're on Tradio. Good morning, you're on Tradio.
Well, hi, folks, and it's a very pleasant Wednesday.
It is.
Let's wheel and deal. I love the Tradio.
All right, then.
I'd like to put my first item up for sale, please.
Let's do it.
The first item I have for sale, please, is a very rare vinyl record from the rock band Psychedelic Bee from 1969.
Okay.
It contains all 4 original members: Howie Feltersnatch, singer Ivana Handjob, drummer Lou, that's Lou.
Okay, that's enough. Let's keep it clean.
Lead guitarist Pat His.
I mean,
okay. Sorry about that. Have to get caller ID on this thing. Memo to the boss. Tradio is for private individuals who wish to buy, sell, or trade items. No dealers. Good morning. You're on Tradio. You're on Tradio. Go ahead.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, what's going on?
I got 2 items.
The other
that being?
Well, the first item, it's an item that has been in my family for a while. It's an item that, I got 2 items, but the first item, it's an item that I want to sell, and the item, it's an item that I have, but if you want to buy my item, I got the item.
Okay,
so,
Now, look, come on. Can we be serious?
Well, I got items.
Okay, what is it you want to sell?
It's an item.
Either say it or we're going to end this conversation.
What? Well, if somebody's interested in the item, they might want to buy it. I don't know why you're getting all upset with me.
Well, I'm getting upset because you're not saying what the item is.
Well, it's not one item, it's two items.
Go ahead, say the items.
It's an item that I've had. It's about 20 years old, the item.
What is it?
It's an item.
An item?
Yeah, if you're interested.
I-T-E-M?
Yeah, if you're interested in the item, give me a call.
Number.
Huh? Well, I didn't tell you what the second item is.
Okay, go ahead.
The second item's also an item, but it's a little bit older item. It's 25 years old.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want it, do you want it yourself? You want the item?
No, I want you to say what it is you're selling, or we're going to end this conversation.
I told you that I got two.
We don't mind people being friendly, but we just do not entertain comedians here. Good morning, you're on Tradio.
Chris, I'm on the road. I lost my hat, my St. Patrick's Day hat on Hermosa yesterday, and I was wondering if you could just list it as if anybody found it was a beret green hat, knitted.
Green knitted beret. Okay.
I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you.
Okay, consider it done. Bye-bye. Okay, green knitted beret hat lost on Hermosa Street. Good morning, you're on Tradio.
Yeah, hey, how you doing?
All right.
Yeah, hey, I was going to tell you, I was just on Smith Road, and I lost a box of fuck books, fell out of the back of my...
Okay, it looks like we're going to have to not open the phone line because we've got some clowns out there.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Well, good afternoon, and welcome into Tradio. That is if you have anything you like to buy, sell, trade, or just...
They didn't try to pass off Juneteenth again, but, but listen, you got to come up with new...
Simply give away. Let's get to our first caller. Good afternoon. You're caller number one. You're on Tradio.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm fine, sir. How about you?
Very, very good. My name is Jungle Bunny, and I have a very...
Jungle Bunny. Jungle Bunny.
Jungle Bunny.
My name is Jungle Bunny.
Jungle Bunny.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm fine, sir. How about you?
Very, very good. My name is Jungle Bunny, and I have a very efficient device I inherited from Uncle about 15 years ago.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, it's a portable, refuelable, flammable cross. It was once used by the Klan, and you can place it on lawns.
275-9738, number to call here on the Tradio. On this Wednesday afternoon. Good afternoon. You're caller number 3.
You got flummoxed.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm fine, sir. How about you?
I'm doing good, thanks. This is Rusty. I'm calling to sell a Westinghouse barometer. It measures barometric pressure, precipitation, measures humidity, temperature, also measures cloudiness, polar orbiting. It measures the geostationary satellites, measures Doppler radar. It measures high-altitude moisture. It measures the frost index, measures typhoon probability. Are you with me there still?
I'm here.
Okay, yeah. Measures
I'm
carbon
suicidal.
offsets, measures water vapor.
Big Graphic was hanging himself in the corner.
Measures the jet streams. Measures clear air turbulence.
Okay, sir.
Measures the pollen index.
Okay, sir. Sir, that's enough. That's enough.
Measures sperm count. What's going on?
Okay, that's enough. You've done. You explained what this does. Okay.
Well, I just want to let you know because this is a high dollar one. I'm selling it for $150.
Okay.
I got it for $200, but it also, if you're a farmer, it measures crop yield, measures radioactive aerosols, volcanic gases, hydroelectric synchronicity.
Okay, sir, that's enough. I need your number.
And if you're, I'm sorry, do one more thing real quick. If you're near the mountains, it measures seismic shock waves.
Okay, sir.
And for your car, it measures oil pressure, tire pressure, and if you're a farmer, again, it measures soil.
Never before in Tradio since I've been here I've received calls like that. Okay, good afternoon. You're on Tradio.
Hello, this is Harry Wang. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
First Harry Wang call.
Harry Wang.
Hi, this is Harry Wang.
Good. Unfortunately, I sold my chicken coop due to the bad economy, and I have a professional breeding kit for my chickens I'd like to sell.
Okay.
It's one professional breeding kit. It contains 2 hold devices for the female hens, and it has 1 straddle for the male cock, which includes a cock ring. And the cock ring is made of stainless steel. It's placed around the cock to hold the cock in place while the female is placed in position for breeding. And the cock's performance has been proven effective about 90% of the time with the cock ring, and we've been pleased with the cock ring and the way it straddles the female, and we're pleased with the performance of that. And I want $45 for the cock ring.
Okay.
We also have a pussycat that just passed away. We're selling her favorite.
And looks like you're getting weird calls today.
That's when he cuts them off. Pussycat.
All right. I don't want to sell anything. I just want to tell you that my wife and I are standing in agreement with you against these crank calls, and what we bind on earth is bound in heaven. We bind any forces that's trying to come against you and against this radio station today in Jesus' name.
Well, it's getting like it's turning into a whole thing.
A war.
How about that? That's not a prank call.
Yeah, right.
He said that because they're out today, I tell you.
Yeah, they are. Come on.
And how much for that clan cross?
Exactly.
Hold on.
Did it work?
I appreciate your call, sir.
You have a blessed day.
Same to you. Bye-bye. Good afternoon.
Well, Jesus loses this battle because listen what happens next.
You're caller number 9.
Hi, we got disconnected. I was selling the barometer. I forgot to say it measures soil productivity.
And we're at 21 minutes past the hour. We're going to take about a 3.5-minute break. We'll be back with more of your phone calls when Tradio returns.
And welcome back to the second half of Swap Shop on this Friday.
Here's a 76 Chevy truck, 4-wheel drive, needs some work, make an offer. 5-2.
And this is what your boys need. 2 Australian baby ducks.
Oh, my word.
And 1 exotic jungle bunny imported from Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
The jungle bunny is known to be feisty but can be trained. They're just looking for a loving home for these animals. Call after 2 o'clock. Tom or Tracy at 584.
I know so many moms that would love to have that for Mother's Day.
Yeah, the baby ducks and an exotic jungle bunny. There you have it.
That would be cute, though.
And we have got some folks that have got, I have no bukkake sauce. That's what they say. It's all natural. You can find out more. They've got some of this for sale at 5874. And some folks just are willing to share a recipe that they have for blumpkin pie, which is blueberries and pumpkin.
I would have guessed that.
You know, if I'd have thought about it, it makes sense. Blumpkin.
Blueberry and pumpkin. That sounds good together.
They say it's a fun recipe, and they'd love to share it with you. You can call Diane at 4524. We got a bathroom faucet set by Golden Shower. The Golden Shower streams warm every time. So I guess that's a kind of a brand. Call and ask for Denise at 5864. Now this, folks, you need to listen to this. I'm kind of reading these as I get to them. I haven't got to preview them. But there is a contractor in the area that's going to be dropping loads of dirt today at the quarry.
How cool is that? Sign me up.
If you need a hefty fertile load for your garden or your yard, come by.
Oh, wow.
And that's today only.
Free.
Yeah.
All right. Here is a Rim Job brand 18-inch aluminum rim set of 4. Excellent condition. Asking $45 for the 4. Call Rod at 845. I think we're good to go.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up Swap Shop.
Let's go to our first caller. Good afternoon. You're caller 1 on Tradio. You're on the air.
God be with you. This is Reverend Arthur Lang. How are you today?
Fine, preacher. How about you?
Well, we have some great items for sale. One particularly for a small business owner. It's called the Schwoogie button. You familiar with the Schmoogie button?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, that alerts you when black people come into your store so you can keep an eye on them.
Okay, get it to your caller number 2.
I have a homemade electric tiller, and I'm asking $800 for it. And remember to pray for the people that call in and don't really know what they're saying.
Let's do that because God will go with them in one way or the other.
Yes, sir. You sure will. You know, Jesus said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do."
And they don't know what they're doing, are they?
Yes, right. Okay. You have a blessed day, sir.
You do the same. Bye-bye. Good afternoon. Your caller number 3.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm fine, sir. How about you?
Good. I agree with the good Reverend. Hopefully the prank calls will cease eventually. Anyway, I have a signature series Robin Quivers High Colonics kit, which includes 2 gallons of anal cleansing coffee, a sphincter tube, an enema bag, and a used zucchini with 2 sausages that were used in her vagina.
Good afternoon. Your caller 4.
Yeah, hi. I'm interested in that Robin Quivers High Colonics.
Okay, good afternoon. Your caller number 5.
Hello, God bless you, Andy. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How about you?
Very good. I have a special edition Aryan Nation starter kit. It comes with shackles, chains, a used noose from Lakewood, Georgia, a Grand Dragon robe.
Okay, I tell you what, it seems like we're getting kind of all the calls today, aren't we? Good afternoon. Your caller number 6.
Good afternoon, Andy.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thank you. So I got a used Lexington steel penis pump.
Okay. Good afternoon. Your caller number 7.
Andy.
Yeah.
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing okay, I guess. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Boy, the imps of Satan are out today, aren't they?
I tell you what, there's got to be a full moon somewhere.
That's right.
You have a good day, okay?
You too, bud.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good afternoon. Your caller number 8.
Good afternoon, sir. First of all, I rebuke those 2 pranksters in the name of Jesus Christ. You're a good man, Andy, and you don't need to put up with this nonsense.
I appreciate that, sir.
All right. Secondly, I do have a 12-gauge shotgun that I think I was going to put up for sale, but I might use it for those 2 fellas if they keep doing this to us. It's not fair.
I'm tempted to say, let me rent it from you.
Good Lord is looking out for them. Okay, now let's get down to business. How much did that fella before want for that penis pump?
Sir.
Because my pecker is quite small. I can use a good stretching on it.
No. Okay.
Sucked him right in.
Okay, good afternoon. You caller number 9.
Boy, you sure are hard to get a hold of. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
All right, buddy. Look, I'm looking for anybody out there who went to Western High School. If he had any annuals from... say 71 to 73, if you'd be interested in selling.
I appreciate your call.
Okay, I appreciate it a lot, buddy. Have a good day.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
Good afternoon. Your caller number 10.
Hi, Andy. It's Ethel. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. I'm calling about that feller a while ago that said he went to Western High School looking for the yearbooks.
All right.
Yeah, I recognize that feller's voice. That was Steve Brandano. I remember sucking his pecker at a sock hop in 1930.
Okay, good afternoon. You caller number 11.
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How about you?
I was doing good till I was riding down the road and listening to the ugly, crazy, mean perverts. So, but they, people like that, the Lord will deal with them eventually.
Absolutely. Okay, thanks for your call.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good afternoon. You're caller number 12.
Hey, brother.
Hey.
It's me again. I wanted to call back and tell y'all, we're praying for y'all, brother. That's, it's a shame that, there's a lot of nice, sweet Christian ladies that listen to this station. And it's a shame that they've got to hear that evil stuff. And I want to let y'all know that God's on y'all's side, and I'm praying for y'all. And it's a shame that the devil's going to try his best to cause problems like that, and God's going to deal with that.
Well, I tell you what, it takes prayer, Jane, to do the job. But I know prayer works, and it's gonna happen.
You don't mess with God's people, and that's what they're doing.
Right. Well, we're trying to deal with the situation.
Amen, brother. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good afternoon. You're caller 13.
I've been hearing that about all them guys calling in there like that.
Right.
Kind of got me upset. I'd like to school them. I know God will deal with them, but sometimes here on earth we got to deal with certain things our own way.
Okay.
If they can't be schooled, they will be schooled.
Well, let's just be patient about it. Let's see what we can do.
I just heard the guy just a minute ago, cursing and stuff, and it's not right.
Well, it also, just think about it, we're in the last days where, unfortunately, the Christian people are marked people now. I'm sorry to say that, but we are. And I think it's just leading up to, leading up to the end of times. And we're just going to have to weather the storm. We'll get by this, and just bear with us.
And if them guys want to call me, I will educate you. I've not only got God on my side, I got what they call alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Okay.
They can call me anytime they want to.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you calling. Let's just be patient. Let's see what happens, okay?
All right, Andy. Thank you. God bless you.
And same to you now. Bye-bye. Good afternoon. You're caller 14.
Hi, this is Satan. I got you. Hardy, hardy, har,
Uh-oh. And on that, again, that's going to wrap it up for the Tradio. Of course, this has been a rather interesting day of it. Thanks for your telephone calls.
Well, happy Monday to you. It's Monday. I'm Paula Vinay, filling in again for Paul Oates today and for a few more days. People want to call and buy and sell and swap, and we get to those phones, shall we? Good morning. You're on Tradio.
Morning. How you doing today?
Well, howdy. How are you?
Howdy. Oh, pretty good. Hey, is Paul around today?
Nope.
Oh, he ain't in today?
No, I locked him in my basement so that I could host Tradio instead.
I hear you. Well, Paul borrowed a blow-up doll from me about a month ago, and he just hasn't returned it. This is Rusty, and if he's listening, if he could get that back to me, it's actually a blow-up sheet.
Oh, gee whiz. All right, deep breath, everybody. Back to the phones. Good morning. You're on Tradio.
Yo, you know who that was?
I don't care.
You know that crazy guy was part of Howard Stern's show. That was Richard Christie.
Oh, beautiful.
I know. Small town. Coming to the small town. All right. What a maniac. Right on. Later.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. This feels like a good time to give away some tickets for breakfast. All right. Let's see. What am I going to ask you about breakfast? I don't know. What do you prefer, bacon or sausage? There, that's your breakfast question this morning. What your favorite breakfast meat is? Do you like ham, bacon, sausage? So give me a call if you would like those.
She just changed it.
Yeah, now you can't lose.
Pancakes, I guess.
But she said she was going to ask a question. I thought we were going to play trivia.
Tickets. Back to the phones. Good morning. You're on Tradio.
Good morning, Paul. How are you today?
I am okay. How are you?
Very, very good. Thank you very much. Keep an eye out for those pesky fellas. They tried to call Paul last week as well. Those two perverted creeps from the Stern show.
Yeah, I heard about it.
You know, it's a darn shame because this is a good show. I do, by the way, big fan of breakfast. Am I eligible for the breakfast contest?
Do you live here?
Yes, I do. My favorite breakfast is sausage.
Okay.
I love the sausage. I suck on it. And, ooh,
I had a feeling. I just had a feeling.
What did he say? Am I legible?
Illegible.
Did just have a feeling. I'm Paula Vinay, again filling in for the vacationing Paul Oates. Good morning, you're on Tradio.
Paul, how are you?
Good morning, how are you?
Hi, what are you up to, Paul? How was your weekend? Paul?
We're going to squeeze in one quick phone call. Good morning, it's you.
Good morning. 5-piece drum set from Yamaha. I'm going to take $150 with that. Doesn't include the hardware.
Drum set for $150, okay.
5-piece drum set from Yamaha. I have some other instruments. I have one rusty trombone by Blumpkin Incorporated, a Cleveland Steamer curved by...
And that's going to do it for Tradio today. Thank you for listening.
All right.
And we'll be back with more of your phone calls tomorrow.
Well, we'll end on.
And welcome to the Radio Shopping Show, the most amazing show on the radio. You caller, welcome to the Radio Shopping Show.
Yeah, hi. I'm going to put some stuff up for sale. It's a little tough for me. My wife passed away last year, so I'm finally partnering with some of her good stuff.
Okay. I think you want Tradio, by the way.
What's that?
I think you wanted Tradio. That would be during, like, from 12:30 to 1 o'clock.
What Would you, just as a courtesy, take down my items and leave them for the Tradio fellas? Could you do that for me? Because I can't get to the phone much. I'm disabled.
That would be, I couldn't do that from the radio shopping show standpoint. You'd have to call, unfortunately, from 12:30 to 1 o'clock. That's
shit, that's...
All right. And sorry about that, folks. And I believe he was disabled. And let's go back to... And also, there's a new show that's starting next Monday called Mortgage 101. And the host, Barclay Butler, is with us. And welcome to the Radio Shopping Show.
Thank you very much.
What's the format going to be?
Primarily, it's going to be for education purposes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Barclay.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to talking to you later on Mondays. Let's go back to your calls. Continue with you, caller.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, I was curious real quick. Is Barclay Butler still around?
No, he's not.
Oh, it's his old buddy Rusty. I want to say hi to him.
No, he's around here doing some promotions for his show.
Oh, well, he borrowed a porn movie from me about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, all right. That's good. Yep. Okay. All right. And let's go back to... Okay. And let me see. Having some interesting calls this morning. And, of course, you know, we do... When you have this many good savings on the Radio Shopping Show, you're always going to get interesting calls with the interesting savings. Extraordinary calls, extraordinary savings here on the Radio Shopping Show. And let's go back to you, caller. Is this Sammy?
That's correct.
And, Sammy, how can I help you?
Any other bowling packages available?
Bowling packages. I will tell you what we have, bowling-wise. I might have another Family Fantastic package.
If there's one available, that would be wonderful.
I've got the $80 going for $17. I've got a couple left. I can throw one in your bin.
I'll take one of those bowling packages.
All right. Those are
I love
great.
that pack. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a great deal.
I love bowling. I once put a bowling pin all the way up my ass.
Oh, gosh. What is it with... all right. Let's go with...
That's my favorite part.
And for the Radio Shopping Show, I apologize for some of the people that are calling. You know what? It makes up that the people who do call and on the Radio Shopping Show and get some of the fabulous savings like Legoland.
I love that.
Well, a good Friday morning to you. Friday. Let's get started. Go off the phone and take caller number 1. Good morning. You are on Tradio.
Good morning, Ray. I'm calling from Hyman Farms. This is Buster Hyman. I got a laptop computer for sale.
Okay.
It's in great shape, just a few jizz stains in the keyboard. My wife's in a wheelchair, so I go on the web to pull my picker.
Okay.
And you can reach me at 516-922-WINE.
922. And what's the rest of it?
Laptop computer, a couple of jizz stains in the keyboard.
No, the phone number. 922. And what are the last digits?
That's right.
What are the last digits?
They were the digits I gave you right after the 922. That's right.
Yeah, 922 what?
Right. Is that right? You got the number there, Ray?
No, that's what I need.
Laptop computer for sale. Couple of jizz stains in the keyboard. Come on.
I know that, but...
Like I said, Ray, my wife's in a wheelchair. That's why I go on the web to pull my pick.
Oh, never mind. All right. Come on, folks. If we got a call here, let's do it right. Let's see. Okay. There's an idiot in every crowd, and I usually don't say that. Caller 2 is next, right here. Good morning, you are on Tradio.
What's going on with the phones there, Ray? Sounds like a couple pranksters out there trying to rattle your barn.
Oh, they're not going to rattle me. If nothing else, I'll just play a bunch of commercials, and they won't get on at all.
Well, who in God's name are those rascals?
I have no idea.
They should call up the church and join hands with Jesus instead of bothering you, Ray.
Call some late-night talk show. Don't call mine.
Call one of those shock jocks like Howard Stern.
That's
or somebody like...
Okay, what can I do for you?
I got a curio cabinet. It's antique. It's in good shape. Just got a couple of jizz stains all over the top of it, but that can easily be wiped off with some Windex and some napkins, because my grandson, he just learned how to pump off, and he's been spraying all over the house and stuff.
What the world? What are you talking about?
It's a curio cabinet.
Okay, what's your number?
My number? Well, hold on. I got a couple more things, if that's all right.
Okay.
Ray, I also got 3 Cupid dolls, and those are in good shape, but they also have some jizz staining all over the dresses and the face and stuff.
Okay, let's not talk about stains. Is it, come on.
Well, my grandson, he just learned to pump off.
Sir, just tell me about the item you have for sale and a phone number.
What?
Okay, enough is enough. I don't know if this is an actual call or not, so I'm not going to repeat it. Let's go here. Good morning, you are on Tradio.
Hey, Ray, how are you today?
Fine.
The Lord will deal with them. Don't you worry, Ray. You're doing a good job.
I could think of some better things they could do, but...
I wish those moron pranksters were in Haiti when that gosh darn earthquake happened.
You're too kind. What can I do for you?
All right, let's get down to business, Ray. I got a wiffle ball bat for sale.
Okay.
Got a few dents in it and a little fecal matter on it.
Oh, come on. All right. I'm going to take time out right here.
Oh.
This show is for people who have things to buy, sell, trade, or give away.
Oh.
If you're going to screw around and think you're funny, that's a good way to lose a show. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I can go to a network program.
Sure.
You ain't got anything better to do. There's a lot of trash on some road ditches that I pass. All right.
What?
Let's try this again. Nothing else? Let's see. Good morning, you're on Tradio.
Good morning, Ray.
Come on.
I got a pair of Red Wing boots, size 12. They're in great shape, although they are covered in horse semen.
I'm going to take a commercial. We'll be back with more of Tradio after this. All right, let's try this again. Hopefully every idiot's got it out of their system now. I mean, I like to have fun like the next guy, but
sure you do.
Not on commercial radio. Thank you very much. And we'll go here. Good morning, you are on Tradio.
Hi, I have a rooster to give away.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, looking for a home for a rooster. Looking for a home for a rooster. 10:32 the time. Good morning, you are on Tradio.
Good morning, Ray. What's the number for the rooster, please?
The rooster. Tell you what, let me take your number. I'm so confused right now.
Okay, Ray, my name's Mike Morales, and I really could use a good cock.
Oh, please.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. This is the first time I've been doing this show for 25 years, and this is the worst it's been. That's going to do it for calls. My apologies. Hope we all have a better day tomorrow as far as things go, and
like you said, John, you went out and auditioned for the show. She may just be feeling that she's missing something, so this is her attempt at getting something going.
Well,
but
then I would tell her. Can I say something, John? That's what irks me with this whole thing, with this whole thing she's doing, because as soon as Howard started to hammer about it, she brought us into it and like trying to make us the bad guys also. Like we're doing something wrong because he's hammering her.
Or we're providing the same amount of entertainment or whatever.
Well, she went flat out and said, hey, she's not doing anything less or more than Ronnie and JD are doing.
That's not true.
What do you do?
I host a show.
And that's what she's doing. She's hosting.
Yeah, but she's not hosting. And
there's nothing beyond her hosting.
She's not introducing, like I'm introducing Shuli. I'm introducing JD, or he's introducing me, or whatever. I'm introducing.
So you want credit for introducing JD?
That's what show needs an MC, okay? That's what I started off doing.
There's nothing beyond the MC.
I never said I was.
What do you do, Dopey?
Dude, I was never.
Fuck off. Get out of here.
I was never said I was a fucking comedian.
No, but Will's making a point here. Right. I mean, Lisa is hosting the event, being the MC.
Asshole.
No, she is.
But what is she giving with it? A cupcake?
Yes.
For $103.
Well, you could talk to
Come
Lisa.
on.
It's okay, so I'll play devil's advocate. It's there's women who listen to the show who may not want to go to the block party because it's a little racy for them.
Right.
They're more in Lisa's sort of thinking. They'd like to hang out with Lisa, talk about what it's like to be a woman on the Howard Stern show, and they'd like to. It's a small gathering, like a cocktail party, not a drunken party like the block party is.
Well, it's a symposium.
Fine.
If
but
you
don't knock. Why knock us though? Because he's hammering her. Why bring us into it? What do we have to do with it?
This is my theory. You guys tell me if I'm off here. I think she brings it in because she feels like you and Scott and JD and other people are kind of on the same level as she is, and if you guys can do it, why can't I do it?
Because
she brought me into it, too, for the same reason, I think.
But the difference is, John, we are doing a show. What she is doing is not a show.
It's showing up at a bakery and hanging out with fans. That's not a show. That's a Q&A. That's a town hall meeting.
But okay, so I'll jump on that one, and I'll say there's plenty of people who go to college campuses, and that's all they do is a Q&A. They'll go in.
That's fine, but don't pull in a comedy show and say this is the same exact thing that I'm doing. It's not. It's just not. There's a show. There's content.
Aaron and Dayton, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, good afternoon again. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to comment. I mean, during the fight week, of course, we heard that Stuttering John got his ass reamed by Howard for going out, using the show for personal gain. And at this point in the game, everybody on the show, I mean, with the exception of you, John, I mean, you was, somewhat famous beforehand, but everybody at this point, using the show for personal gain and monetary value. But, and of course, at this, what I'm getting at is, I'm sure she's not making a whole lot of bread, and she's putting at a point where she's, giving a little bit to charity. She's also, paying for a venue. She's probably paying for the wine and all that shit, and she's also like Gary said, part of the show. So
all right, so Aaron's sort of defending Lisa here.
We pay for a venue.
Yeah, I mean, she's good. That's a weird thing to say because whatever she's paying for or not paying for, she will walk away with a profit of some sort.
Yeah, she has no.
Dude, when we do the block party shows, we pay for a venue,
of course.
So I mean,
here's a question John and I were kicking around today. If Lisa said, "I'm going to be at the coffee shop for $100, you can come." And you get a cupcake and everything, and I'm going to play the violin for an hour.
Okay.
Would that change your perception of what she's doing?
That's a concert. That's a concert.
Absolutely. At least she's doing something other than having, 30 people show up and then just sit around and schmooze with them.
Anthony, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, what's going on? I'm a big Shuli fan. I mean, I'm a stand-up comedian. I moved out here to PA from California, and just the transition there. But, she's promoting the show because she is bringing... She's using the Stern show as saying, I'm bringing the female listeners and trying to make money off that because the block party is just completely different from what she's trying to do. She doesn't have an act. So she's using the show to get the female listeners out there to make money. I mean, she's got to rent a car.
But why is that wrong? I'm just going to play devil's advocate. Why, if you could say that Shuli and Ronnie are using the show to get male listeners to come out and see male-based humor, even though there's a lot of women there as well. So if Lisa feels she's going to talk to female listeners, why is that wrong?
But why does she have to make money of it? If she started to support the show and won a gig, she should be able to be like, hey, I'm Lisa G. Come, get listeners to be more attracted to her, not because I need to make some money.
Why should the guys from the block party make money? Shouldn't they just be, Shuli's a comedian, shouldn't he be out there for the joy of making people laugh?
Also, would it matter to you?
I pay money to go see the block party. I pay money to go see the block party. I was up in Canada, and I saw the block party. It was fucking awesome. It was fun.
But Anthony, people don't have to spend money to go to Lisa's event. They just won't go.
Right. The reason I wanted to pick up his call is because he said Lisa's scamming people. And I think that's a poor choice of words because I think Lisa's being very upfront about what she's doing. I don't think there's any scam involved.
Well, you know what? We should get Jason down here because he said that he feels like she's scamming people big time.
But she's being very upfront about it. I mean, I don't think anybody who pays can't walk away surprised with what they're getting.
What were you going to say, Benji?
Well, would it matter? As I said before, I don't think there's anything wrong, and I think Lisa could say she's putting on an event in a different kind of way, but she's still putting on an event. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, except I felt she was being very hypocritical towards when she was criticizing me. But would you guys say it's any different if, let's say, this cupcake place hired her for an appearance and they paid her?
I think that's different because you're not taking money from the listeners.
Right.
That's the huge difference right there. In other words, the cupcake place paid her. She goes there. Listeners can come for free and meet Lisa. And I think you sort of get the same result, but you're not taking money from the listeners.
And I don't think the event itself rubbed people the wrong way. I think the price she came up with, I think, might have rubbed a few people the wrong way.
And the word I keep hearing, too, from some people is that there seems to be a sense of entitlement. But I'm not sure for what. Like, Lisa's entitled to make money off the show, or I'm not sure what people think Lisa's entitled to do. But Jason's here. And Jason, we were just talking about how there was a caller on the line who said he felt that Lisa was scamming people. And I said, well, she's definitely not. That's a poor choice of words. She's being very upfront about what she's doing. But you say she's scamming. So,
well, I would use scamming means like, yeah, she's lying to somebody. I think she's exploiting. I think she's ripping off. I think that she
is we have a fan base that will pay money to be part of the show, like going to see Shuli and Ronnie's thing. Now you can say, first of all, I don't even like the fact that their show has been lumped in with this Lisa G thing. They are so two totally separate things. I think it's unfair to them to even lump it in. Lisa made a name for herself from this show in the last 10 years, 5 years on this show.
7 years.
7 years.
But
Lisa,
Lisa will tell you that she was been in New York radio for 23 years before this.
Yes, but she is not going on other radio shows to promote this. She's promoting Lisa G, as far as I know, from the Howard Stern show, to go and sit and pay money and see her. To me, that is using the goodwill that Howard has built up with the fan base and is exploiting that. And Howard, who is our boss, can put his name on anything and sell it and make money on it. Stephen King could put his name on any piece of crap book and sell it and make money off it. But they have integrity, and they care more about their fans than Lisa does.
So why is this getting under your skin so much, Jace? Because you were like fuming back
Because
there.
I know this is going to sound corny, but I love our fans. Like, I really do. I was one of them, and I know how easy it is if you wanted to. Will and I don't know if we have the same draw as Lisa, but Will and I can go out and do this too. We could say, hey, come spend $100 and hang out with me and Will. We're not doing anything. We're just hanging out. I personally think it's disgusting to do something like that.
Well, you and Will?
I don't want to speak for you, Will.
Actually, I'll be at Belmont on Saturday. If you want to buy me free beers, I'm more than open to that.
All right. I think she hasn't earned the right to do what she's doing. I think that she's doing something that, despite people comparing it to the Block Party and other events, that isn't even in the same league as those things. And quite frankly, I'm surprised by a lot of what Howard's let go over the years compared to where he was 10, 15 years ago.
Chuck, you're on the wrap-up show.
How's it going, John?
Hey, Chuck, it's JD's dad. Chuck, who wants to chime in? Is this about the Facebook thing, or is this about the Lisa G thing?
He wants the exact address to Facebook.
I won't stay on too long. First, I enjoyed your show on the fast food mania thing the other day. That was great.
Thank you. I appreciate someone in the Harmeyer family watching the show. Thank you.
I haven't been able to listen too much of the show, but I wanted to let everybody know that this Friday night I'm going to be at the Fridays in Westchester, and for $50 you can get whatever appetizer you want, and we'll tweet.
Hey, Chuck, if I come to you, can I look at like JD's like grammar school pictures and stuff? Can you bring all that crap?
Sure.
Some of his report cards.
It's going to be the eat and tweet. And
Chuck, I'm taking from your comments that you think what Lisa's doing isn't right.
I think it's hilarious. That anybody would actually pay, but if
guys, the event's going to be
make some money out of it, more power to her.
But so how about the argument that, hey, Lisa's really upfront with what she's doing? She's saying exactly what it is. I mean, why do you think somebody's being taken advantage of in the sense that they don't? Somebody says, hey, I want to meet Lisa G. I'm willing to pay that kind of money.
You're taking advantages of people's passion to this show that she had, of course, a part of in it because she works here and contributes to the show. But this isn't this is.
But you're not going to meet. You're not going to meet Howard. That's a given.
But someone could think that there's one person closer to Howard, and
it doesn't
somehow
matter.
They'll work themselves in.
You've been with the show since the very beginning. Again, I just remember, and I'm a crazy fan. I admit it. I was a crazy fan, just like half the people who have been hired here. And I would have paid untold amount of money to meet you. Or to meet, or I would have waited in line, or got excited to meet High Pitch Eric. And yes, at the end of the day, there's really no one to blame but the person partying with their money who chooses to go to this thing. But she is putting the minimal amount of effort into it. Like even what you were describing, the Chuck stat, if he brought pictures of JD, that's already providing more content than Lisa G is providing.
And the report card's an extra.
Steve and I were joking the other day,
Always.
maybe we should sell tickets to us arguing about TV shows. We argue about TV shows all the time. Again, that's still providing more content than what Lisa G appears to be providing at this stupid thing where she is telling our fans, asking our fans to pay money to meet me. She's being very upfront. 10% of the net is going to charity, and that's very generous of her. But I just think it's exploitative. I think it's as exploitative as if Howard started putting out junk with his name on it.
Chuck, I gotta let you go because a bunch of people on the Horn. Anything else you want to say?
Give me the horn. Give me the horn.
I enjoy the show. Have a good day.
Thanks, Chuck. Go check out the Pirates take on the Reds. Ralph Sorella, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, now.
Hi, Ralphie.
this is all very muddy. I mean, if you allow for one, you have to allow for all. I mean, whether it's money for a cupcake or money to see a train wreck, it's what people want to pay. And I don't see why Lisa is being, who's Jason to decide what her appearing somewhere is worth to somebody.
Well Ralph, the reason why this whole thing started is because Howard says it bothers him and he doesn't know why. So you're pretty close to Howard. Why do you think it bothers him?
Well, listen, I know what Jason's saying in the sense of like, hey, she's not doing much. She's just coming there and showing up. But you know what? That's what an evening with Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby just shows up. Maybe people want to go there for Lisa's personality. Maybe she's going to give recipes. I don't know what the fuck she's going to do there, but I don't know how that's any different than the block party.
But you don't know how that's different than the block party.
Hold on.
No, I don't.
We'll explain that in a second. But all that being said, Ralph, Gary's question is a good one. Like, why does this get under Howard's skin versus the block party, versus the TV shows, versus Benji's song,
Bill
versus
Cosby,
all the other stuff? Why do you think this is irking Howard?
Because this isn't, but maybe because the block party is such a train wreck that it provides content on the show. Ronnie goes out there and acts like an idiot, and then you've got tape of it, and Howard TV is filming it, and it provides content for the Howard Stern show. But I think it just sends signals to you can't allow one and not allow the other. Like, who are you guys to sit there and decide? Like, okay,
well, first of all,
okay,
we don't.
Howard
does. Yeah, but Ralph, wouldn't you agree that? And I was going to get into this a little bit, but you brought it up. Wouldn't you say on this show there's different rules for different people?
Absolutely, yeah.
So then when you say you have to allow for one, you have to allow for another, really, Howard's running a monarchy. He has to allow for whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, Artie used to get away with crap that none of us could get away with.
That's right.
And because he was Artie.
Yeah, and that worked out really well.
Well, I'm just saying that's what happens under that. Anybody could do whatever anybody wants rules.
What Artie was allowed to get away with business-wise had nothing to do with what happened here.
No, he got away with a ton of stuff here that we got. If I slept in the office as much as he slept on the air, I don't think I would have been treated with the same kid gloves.
Absolutely, because you're not as funny as Artie.
No, I'm not. Right. The people are treated differently here.
Yeah. And that just doesn't work well. It just sends out a bad message to everybody.
But again, I fundamentally disagree with you. I think Ronnie's block party does skirt the line of what Howard used to be angry about in the day when John and Gary tried to go out to do stuff and Howard didn't want it to become the traveling Howard Stern show. And I do think it comes up against that line. But at the end of the day, they're promoting their comedy show. People are buying tickets to their comedy show. I don't know. To me, it's completely different than having a lovely chat with coffee.
I will agree that it's different. I don't know if it's completely different. I mean, I think what bothers you is Lisa's looking for a way to make money.
Ralph, would you buy a ticket to just see JD and Ronnie, but no comedy?
I wouldn't even do that.
Me, Gary. Last question: is Howard going to put an end to all this stuff?
It's getting to be rubbing up against that area. Hard to say.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, there was a lot of talk about Sal, shockingly, screwing up a game again. And this is one of those situations where Sal doesn't think he's wrong, is told that he's wrong, and then realizes that he's wrong and tries to explain himself, which he can't do. So we heard Sal tell the story about how it was unfair of Howard to call him a sucker. Now joining us on the wrap-up show, the great Sal Governale, who said, Howard, you're a sucker at least 20 times today. Actually, Sal, you refused to say it.
That's right.
Those were the drops being played, but...
Why won't you repeat?
Why wouldn't I say it?
Yeah, repeat after Howard.
Because I wouldn't. It wasn't true. If I did something where he felt like a sucker, I would have said it.
Sal, do you feel like the show was used at all in order for you to get those teeth? Or do you think they're two independent things?
Yes, absolutely. I made that perfectly clear on your wrap-up show last time. I said it's inevitable. There's certainly a bartership deal. People are not stupid. The guy was a fan of the show, and I certainly got a break because he was a fan, which is understandable.
But we discussed it wasn't a break.
Right. Then the break comes back and bites you on the ass. Nothing is ever really a break. There's a price to be paid, whether it's monetarily or getting the shit kicked out of you by Howard Stern. There's a price to pay, and I've learned it the hard way.
Sal and I talked a little bit today. I was explaining that some of the money was for the actual physical things needed to do this, and the rest of the money was free.
Yeah.
So Sal didn't really get a break. He really got the dental work for free.
Right.
And I explained to him that, as Sal said, nobody gives you something for free for nothing. They're always looking for something.
Let me take a step back on this. Sal, do you feel you were unfairly blamed for the problems with the Bigfoot game? Because that's how this all started.
At first, I thought I was. But listen, I'm the one who created the game. The glitch was there. Guilty as charged.
But you said you double-checked it. What did you mean by that?
I double check all my work. In this particular case, and I don't know why. I don't know why I do these things, but I always give my...
That seems to be the mantra this week. I heard Tim saying that earlier in the week.
It's almost like, how people have a guardian angel? I have like a guardian bully. When I'm going...
A black cloud?
Yeah, when I'm going in the right direction, somebody's kicking me in the balls, just throwing my mind off a little bit, because I always give my CDs to Scott to double check. And like when Howard asked me, did Scott double check this one? I said, no. And that's when it hit me. I'm like, he didn't double check this one. I did, but... inevitably, it was a screw-up on my part.
It's always better to give your stuff to Scott, because then when it screws up, you could blame Scott.
Right.
What happened was there was a glitch. You saw it. Then you went back and saw that there was a track there. But what we figured out is that Bigfoot's answer was so short. Right?
Mm-hmm. It didn't register as a track.
It was a track, but it just goes from one track to the next so quickly, which Richard knew, and he said, Sal just sort of forgot you got to add a little time.
And by the way,
yes.
to say something nice about Scott Salem, that's the kind of crap he really catches.
Right.
Like, I gave him all the impression stuff, and he called me in, he's like, wow, the levels on this are really off on one of them, and we listened to it, and I'm like, good call, and he fixed it, and, that's his job.
And that was my mistake. So I took back that game and double-checked that one. And I had Scott check it. As a matter of fact, I went to Gary today, and I said, Gary, give me all the games back. So I'm going through every single game right now as well.
There was a great moment, though, where the game fucked up, so I just start yelling, Sal, to just see where he is. Sal was on his way in, but Howard did play the answer, but Sal didn't realize there was a fuck-up. So Sal starts yelling at me, you owe me a fucking apology, asshole. Fuck you.
Wait, can I just say, because I have my headphones on? You guys went from 0 to 1,000 the second Howard said that this isn't working.
There's a reason why.
Before, you guys were yelling so loud at each other that you couldn't hear Howard screaming about who do I have to blame, and I didn't know what was going. You came out with
it was definitely like a sibling moment.
What happened was I just yelled Sal as loud as I could to see where he was.
I was coming around the bend. I was by the Howard TV room. I saw what happened. I'm like, whoa! Came around the bend, and Gary goes, Sal, where the fuck are you? What's going on? I go, Gary, and then I heard, as I was coming, I heard Howard fix, and I heard the track come through. I'm like, all right, it was a Howard issue, with the CD player. I go, Howard just fixed it, Gary. How about an apology? So Gary looks at me and goes, fuck you.
Yeah, that's why I started hearing everything.
So then Gary sits in his office. I go, how about an apology for that? And Gary goes, go fix your teeth, asshole. I go fix your fucking teeth. And all of a sudden, wait a Sal, Howard wants you. It is fucked up. I'm like, oh, God, no.
All I hear over my head.
So this whole argument was going on over attitudes, and in the end, I was called into the studio thinking I was victorious, and boom.
But what you didn't realize when you were in the studio,
you still didn't realize you were wrong.
You didn't realize you were wrong, and Gary is screaming.
Yeah.
He's deflecting. He's deflecting. And I mean, you were charged up, Gary.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, he was trying to make it go somewhere else, but you didn't realize you were wrong. So you were, no, Howard, I don't know what you're wrong.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting there going, oh, my God, Sal's really digging the hole deeper because he doesn't know he's wrong yet.
Yeah.
How did you not know you were wrong, though? Like, in what?
Well, I was arguing with Gary. I got called in, and I thought Howard called. I thought somebody sent up a note that Gary and Sal are fighting over the track. So in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to go in, and then Gary's going to get called in, and Gary apologized to Sal. Here I am thinking it's going to be that way.
And by the way, I just want to say, the desperation move if I'm beating you is you bring up the sleeping.
I know, dude. That was 4 years. I mean, how old is that?
Hey, listen, where am I going to go?
I get it. Yeah. I get it. You're drowning and you grab at anything.
Anything.
But what really, I think, really changed it was, one, I think Howard saw your point a little bit, and I think you were starting to cry.
No, I wasn't.
That's why I ran in.
I got worked up, but I certainly wasn't starting to cry.
I wasn't going to run in with the camera until I looked at the monitor and saw how worked up you were. And I'm like, I better get the fuck in
What
there.
was bringing you to tears? The fact that Howard thought you were lying? Or
were you emotional in any way?
Sal, you were over the top at a certain point.
It was the whole sucker thing, and he said you outsmarted me. I would never. That's just
impossible.
Well, no, it's not. It's impossible to outsmart Howard Stern, in my opinion. Yes, in any capacity.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So. And he kept going with that and the whole Howard Sucker thing, and I'm like, this is just crazy, and that's why I just snapped.
And he threatened to break up you and Richard. And I know to you that's blasphemy, but it seemed like it might be going there.
If it goes there, it goes there. And you know what? You'll see the results. Rich and I are a think tank. We work every day. We bounce ideas off of each other. We work great together. It's like breaking up Captain and Tennille.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, actually, they got divorced, and she had a much better career.
Sal, if this happens,
It's like breaking up Donnie Marie.
Keep your mouth shut, because the way Howard described it on the air, you will be getting your own office, and Richard will be sharing an office with
I would
Scott.
hate that. I would hate.
You would rather share with Scott?
I would be in a bathroom with Richard. I would be in a dumpster with Richard.
What? But if you and Richard together isn't an option, wouldn't you rather be alone than be paired up with Scott the engineer?
I don't know. My brain can't even go there. That's like saying you're separating a child from me. I'm not kidding you.
Are you ready
You're
for
a grown man?
Are you ready for a world, say in 3.5 years, where the show ends and everybody has to go out and do their own thing? Are you and Richard going out as a team, or are you going to go out and do your own thing?
It all depends. If we want it, right now we're planning as a team, but we also can do our own thing as well.
Let me tell you something from experience. If you're a team, one of you end up stabbing each other in the back. It's just what happens when two guys at work team up on something
and live together.
I don't know about that.
Another old friend of the show. You gonna have a stupid comment about that?
No, I have no stupid comment.
All right, just asking.
Only intelligent ones.
Oh, okay. You have an intelligent comment about that?
A rock and roll legend.
Okay. And an old friend of the show.
Okay.
All right. And we're gonna bring him in.
Well, what's his name?
Joe Walsh.
You're rusty, man.
You're old.
I'm old. Says the guy in the tinted glasses. Mr. Joe Walsh, welcome back, sir.
Thank you. How you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
Got a new album out?
Got a new album out.
Analog Man.
One of the rare times I didn't stay up all night to come into the show.
So you're feeling fresh?
Slept. That should impress Howard.
Right here, sir.
Okay. There we go.
So you're feeling fresh. You're raring to go today.
I'm fresh and I'm ready to go. I hope he is.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I bet he's really nervous right now.
You guys are old friends. You guys have been...
We're old friends from golly. I don't want to figure out how old.
But the new album's called Analog Man?
Analog Man. First album in 20 years.
All right. We'll see you in the studio.
Okay. Good to be here.
He looks good. Like his skin is good. But I'm saying for a guy who's been through what he's been through.
Right. It's pretty amazing.
He looks great.
It's almost unfair. Because,
he looks
like,
really...
I would have done all that too.
That's right. He looks really healthy.
Yeah, like he works out, I think.
But I mean, he had a long time of, fucking up his body.
Analog Man is for his first solo album in 20 years. He says his wife is the one that got him back in the studio. It's Ringo Starr's sister-in-law, by the way, his wife of 3 years.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah. He sounds very happy. He's healthy. He's sober. He loves his new wife. Everything's great.
Do you almost think musically, like Joe's in his own sort of genre? Like, I was thinking about this, that just to discuss it a little bit. Like, he's not like a Led Zeppelin guy. He's not like
he's not huge. He's not like a super, but he's been in a super group. But he's been big on his own.
But he's overlooked, kind of.
Oh yeah, like when you talk about the top 10 greatest guitarists of all times, why Joe's name is, it's always like Buddy Guy. Yeah. It's a lot of old black guys.
I think a lot of people took him out of the running because he was such a goof.
That's right. Right. No, he did act goofy for a long time.
Sorry, go ahead.
He talks about how he talks to Ringo Starr for advice. He's very unaffected by his fame. Mm-hmm. Stevie Nicks, clearly sounds like she's still in love with him. She says that they broke up because they both had heavy cocaine addictions. But basically says he was the love of her life, and he's the only man she'll ever really love.
Something like that. It was pretty quiet. I mean, I heard it. But
I knew about the Don Henley thing, but I never knew about her and Joe.
Joe, come on in. Joe Walsh from the legendary Eagles, of course. Look at you.
Gary's salivating over here.
You look good, my man. Take a seat. Hi, how are you?
He looks real good.
Good to see you. Yeah, he does look good. You know, you look good. Are you amazed? Like, you know, you're so healthy now. You look terrific. You look like a different man from the guy I knew back when.
I am.
You are a completely different man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's strange even being in the room with you now because it's a whole different energy. I never
That's because I didn't stay up all night.
Well, I never knew the Joe I was going to get.
Yeah.
Do you ever go back and look at your old appearances, whether it's on this show or wherever you were, where you were really completely fucked up and on, you know, you were drinking? I don't even know back then. Were you just drinking or were you coking and heroing and
whatever you had?
Really? It was
what I did.
Right.
Till you were out, and then I left.
Did you ever figure out, to be serious, did you ever figure out what it was that kind of made you crazy enough to want to destroy your body and destroy your mind? I mean, there had to be something really behind that, right?
Well, being an alcoholic.
No, but I'm saying there's a reason one becomes an alcoholic, don't you think? Or do you think it's just a disease that randomly hits somebody? I always think there's some psychological basis that your father was either, like, maybe it goes back to your parents.
It is probably hereditary, yeah. But I tell you what happened for me.
Right.
I wrote some songs that were pretty good.
Right.
When I was high. James Gang Rides Again came out, did really good.
Right.
Made that when I was high. So I made a mistake of thinking it was a winning formula.
Right.
I played some concerts in front of people when I was high, and they
loved you.
Well, they were high too. But,
right.
You know, yeah. But then later, you know, when I didn't do an album, when I did an album that didn't do so good, I thought, well, I'm not nearly high enough.
Right.
Oh.
And I chased it. Robin.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
But was it the kind of thing where you see, you strike me as a happy-go-lucky kind of guy, but the truth is you're not, because all of that stuff what you're describing is a guy who really wants to be successful. That success was so important to you that you said, oh, I know the winning formula. I'll drink, I'll get high, and then I'll write great music. So it really did matter to you whether you were successful or not. You weren't sort of a happy-go-lucky guy. Maybe it was a reaction to, oh, my God, maybe this will be the secret to my success. You were really hungry for success.
Very subtly.
Yeah.
All of that stuff convinces you that you can't do anything without it.
Right.
And it's got you.
You think that's it?
Yeah.
It's that simple?
Yeah.
You don't think it was your relationship with your parents? I mean, I don't know what it was like for you living at home.
I don't know. You know, every case is different. If you grew up in an alcoholic family, chances are you're going to be alcoholic.
Your mom and dad were alcoholics?
There's always that at different times, yeah.
Right. So when you see drinking as part of the family life, it doesn't seem like such a bad thing to be doing.
When I grew up, it was the 50s, and we would have these family picnics, and everybody drank.
Including you.
My aunts drank, my uncles drank, my cousins drank. If you were an adult, adults drank.
Right.
That was just the norm when I was a kid. And it occurred to me that my whole family probably has been rip-roaring drunk for the last 500 years.
Right.
That was just the norm.
How hard was it for you to get sober?
Hardest thing I ever did.
Yeah, and now you're happy, right? I hear reports on you, because I care about you, and when I hear you're so happy now, I really do get happy for you, because, you know, think about all your contemporaries. A lot of guys died who were even less fucked up than you.
A lot of guys we know aren't around anymore.
Yeah. Who you thinking about that didn't make it? I'm thinking
Bellucci.
Kennison. Right. And
Keith Moon.
And it's kind of sad, too, because if you get that second chance, if you live long enough and you kind of get sober, you go, oh, wow, you think about those guys. They were cut down in their prime.
Yeah.
And do you think music... See, I happen to think you're one of the greatest guitar players, and I'm not saying it because you're here, but I do. I think the riffs and the songs you came up with were brilliant, especially James Gang stuff, and then when you went to the Eagles, I felt you really improved that band like tenfold. But yet, do you think when it comes to, I don't know, the rock and roll intelligentsia or whoever they are, but do you think, or critics, do you think, yeah, do you think you get criticized or you're not thought of right up there in the upper echelon because your past behavior, because you were so drunk and so outrageous? Do you think that your legend got kind of knocked down to a degree? Were you taken less seriously?
I'm not really concerned with that.
But you are. Because you're the guy who sat there and drank because you destroyed your own body because you thought that was the formula for success. So you do care about your place in history, right? Musically.
Yeah, but I'm not done yet.
No, I know you're not. But I'm saying, I don't, when I see the list in Rolling Stone of the top 10 guitarists in the world.
Joe's not on it?
Yeah, and I don't quite know why. You really are. Do you still practice your guitar every day?
Yeah.
It's that important to you?
I try and play every day, yeah.
Is it true you take guitar lessons to this day? That you still take guitar lessons?
I'll sit down with somebody, yeah. I'll sit down with somebody and ask them how in the world do you play that, like Brad Paisley.
Right.
I'll sit down with him and say, hey, man.
Why is that? Because you can't figure out how he did that?
Well, probably, but it saved me 5 or 6 hours if I just ask him.
But does anyone ever come to you and say, hey, Joe, teach me how to play? Teach me how to do that?
Not really, but
does that bother you? Bothers me. You're the guy who should be giving guitar lessons, not getting guitar lessons.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Who does he think is the greatest?
Who are your heroes musically? I've never asked you that. You were always too drunk. Couldn't get a straight answer out of you. Do you have musical heroes?
No, I had heroes then. They were just different ones.
Jim Beam.
Yeah.
Seriously, who are your heroes?
Well, the guy that's the grandfather of us all is Les Paul.
Right. The guy who really invented the guitar, the electric guitar, right?
The pickup and echo and multi-track recording.
Did you get to know him?
I knew Les, yeah.
Yeah. Were you happy with the inventions and what he did to the guitar? Because you're a guy who in your new album you talk about analog, man. You can't stand all the new technology. It's kind of like I'm just a regular guy. I don't know from all this technology.
Well, I'm not against it. I'm not an old analog fart who came out of the woods.
Right.
I don't think analog's better. It's just, you got to admit.
But you're upset with technology. You don't like now in the Eagles that your fellow Eagle members sit in a studio and they use all these Pro Tools and everything else. It actually slows down the music-making process.
It changes it.
It makes it more complicated.
Easier. Here's two things it does, okay?
Okay.
One is you can fix anything.
Which is
bad.
Bad, I think.
Temptation to fix everything.
You lose the soul of the music, don't you?
If we'd had Pro Tools when we were doing Hotel California, we'd still be working on Hotel California.
Because what you're saying is Hotel California has imperfections, so to speak. And those imperfections are kind of the cool things about it.
The charm.
Human.
And so when you get in the studio now with the Eagles, they sit and go, wait a second, that note's just a little bit out of tune or it's a little bit off. Let's fix it.
We've always been like that to some degree.
Right.
But the great temptation with Pro Tools is to go ahead and fix everything when you don't need to.
Do you have enough of a voice in that band? I know you've got to sort of watch your P's and Q's with some of the band members, but do you have enough of a voice in that band to say, guys, stop. We're in a studio. What made us great, why Hotel California works, is because there are mistakes on it. It's not a perfect piece of music. Nothing is.
Well,
but it's real.
I wouldn't single out the Eagles.
You say they all do it.
Everybody does it.
But you are in the Eagles.
It's a hazard of Pro Tools. It's a hazard of digital technology. There's one other thing I want to say.
Yeah.
The temptation with digital technology is to start with a drum machine.
Right.
That's virtual.
Yes.
And put that down. And then build up the track with virtual instruments, which are all in the computer. and build up the thing like a kit.
And it never sounds quite as good.
No. In the old days, you got some guys in a room, you mic'd them, and you pushed record, and you got the performance.
Right, and isn't there something that comes out of that performance when a guy's sitting there, a drummer live, and all of a sudden he goes, wait a second, I have an idea. What if I hit it this way? Or you go, wait, I got a better riff. Or that's the magic of being in a studio with a bunch of guys.
That's rock and roll from 1954 to 1962.
But when you recorded the last Eagles album, and by the way, the album did well. I mean, there was an experiment, too. You sold it through Walmart, and it sold really, really well. And this is a tough day and age to sell music.
Yeah.
So the experience for you was not the same. Were you all in the studio at the same time, or was it all done with building it up one at a time?
There's a temptation.
Right.
To do it that way.
Do you put up a protest in the band, or you just go along with the flow?
I go along with the flow. We do it various ways depending on what we're trying to accomplish.
Is it liberating now that you have a solo record out because you don't have to deal with the, I'm not going to call it nonsense, but the politics of the Eagles? Is it a liberating experience for you to go in and do it your way?
It's, what do I say? Yeah, but I mean, for all of us, I mean, Don's down in Nashville,
doing his own thing,
recording. Glenn made an album,
but for you get to do it your way now.
I get to do it my way. Yeah.
Is there a part of you that goes, "I'll show these fucking guys how an album should be made"?
Nah,
never.
Nah.
There's no anger there, no bitterness.
Nah.
Have you given up all your friends from the old days? In other words, you used to come in with a boatload of characters that were hanging around. I'm talking about the days when you got
my entourage.
You had an entourage of guys who could drink you under the table. You know, there was the bass player, Rick the bass player. Are you done with those guys? Are they bad influences, so to speak, on you, or triggers for you?
Well, Rick's exempt.
Right.
He plays with Neil Young now.
Yes.
He's cleaned up. He's doing great.
That's good.
For him.
Yeah. You have to change all your friends.
I know.
You have to.
Yeah, or else you get sucked into the vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were another one. We felt like we were the friends that got, and we never did all that stuff with you.
Yeah,
but
we were good
for a while, you didn't come see us.
Yeah, were we part of the problem?
Someone stole my identity, Robin.
Yeah. You know, when I was thinking about you, there was a great... I know you're happily married now. You've been married, what, 3 years?
3 years.
Oddly enough, to Ringo Starr's sister-in-law?
No.
Wait,
your
wife, your wife is...
Are you sure? Do you know who you're married to?
What is he, Ringo?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, who are you married to?
My wife is the little sister of Ringo's wife.
Barbara Bach?
Right.
Yes.
And you are now happily married.
It's the part of me that was missing.
Because I remember you in the old days. You know, listen, you were high, and women were commodities. You used a lot of women, and they used you. I mean, it was a mutual use. They used you for your fame and your money and your power.
Well, sometimes I think Joe forgot when he was on the road that he had another woman somewhere.
Right. But did you have a whole epiphany about women? Like that changed your attitude toward women too?
Well, the first thing that you can't do when you try to get sober is have a relationship.
Right. They say that's the worst thing.
Yeah. So I did that for a while.
You did?
You did all the wrong stuff.
You sabotaged your recovery by being in a relationship with a woman during it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that didn't work good.
So they're right about that.
Yeah.
These people know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It didn't work good because she becomes your drug, right?
Or a reason to drink.
In other words, you'd start fighting with a woman, the relationship gets too heated up, you haven't worked on yourself enough, and then boom, everything goes kablooey and you need a drink.
Women are a great reason to drink. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Probably just any relationship with anybody is a reason to drink.
Yeah. Like Joe's so charming, nothing could be a problem about
Well, you know what? I think like Joe, I have problems with everybody, so I think anyone would make me drink.
There you go.
Man or woman.
There you go. So, congratulations on your marriage, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I'm glad we're both happy.
Yeah, no, very, very happy.
Yeah.
I really am. I mean, I understand what you say.
To get a real partner.
Yes.
You know?
And to feel good about that situation is remarkable.
And it's the part of me that was missing.
But don't you think it's the change in you that allows you to have that with a woman?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You had to grow up.
I couldn't have had any relationship like I was.
Did you go back and say to any of the women you were with, and I'm sure you hurt some women and some women hurt you, but did you go back? Even remember, you used to have the great joke, my ex-wife plaintiff.
Yeah, did you call plaintiff?
Did you ever call plaintiff and say,
which one?
Any of them.
I made amends to a lot of people.
You did?
Yeah.
Was that hard?
No.
Once you do it, does it unlock something in you? Like, does it open up your heart?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
And so you would call, did you call your ex-wives? Mm-hmm. And you said to them, look, I'm sorry I put you through hell. I'm sorry I did
I put you through hell.
Were they all receptive to that, or did some of them say, you know what, Joe, fuck yourself?
There was both. Both of those. Some people say, I understand. I'm glad you're sober. Some people say, up yours.
And some people say, I don't believe you. In other words,
the important thing is me.
You said it.
I'm better for it.
Right. And what is it? If it's a phone call or a meeting, and you go there and you confess to them that you were shit or whatever, you were confused.
Yeah, you look them in the eye and you tell them, hey, I was really a bad person to you, and I regret it, and I'm sorry.
Wow. Boy,
that's heavy.
That's hard.
It's heavy, but that's part of recovery, because you live in all that garbage. You constantly, even now, everybody goes into the past and digs around in a pile of stuff.
Right.
And you look for something to be mad about.
Right.
You look for something to get in a bad mood about, and you attach an emotion to it. And then you're in a bad mood, and none of that exists.
All that anger is in you.
Yeah. If you clear that out by making amends, you stand a chance.
Right. Well, it's a tough... I tell you what, that is not an easy assignment.
Has he decided to have more children?
No, you're not having more kids, are you?
No, I have lots.
Yeah.
How many kids?
I saw one of your daughters on a TV show. Lucy. She's a very talented girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
She wants to make it in the music business.
She's also acting. She's pretty serious about acting.
Good-looking girl, too.
Yeah, she's nice.
Yeah. And then I saw they got you on the show, too. They schlepped you out. I was like, oh, poor Joe.
Well, I showed up for her.
Yeah, right, I know. I knew you didn't want to be there, man. I was just watching it, and I go, oh, my God.
Me and Dee Snider.
Yeah, you guys are all on there.
We showed up for our kids.
But I know what that show was.
Yeah. I enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
But it was the kids of rock stars who show up, and they had a competition.
Yeah.
So, but you see these competition shows. That's not the way to really make it. I'm a judge on one of these shows.
I know you. How's that going?
I love it. But I tell everyone. In fact, I don't
know. You are.
Well, you don't want to know something? In Vegas, I tell these guys. I don't know if they're going to show it. They don't show everything I say. But I said to them, you got to remember, a lot of hard work goes into it. When I saw them fucking off or doing something weird, I'd say, I know musicians. And these guys work their ass off. They might look happy-go-lucky, but how many hours did you spend in your life not only sitting alone in a room with the guitar, but also going out on the road and playing in front of people and learning that, even if you're playing in front of two people, life can really suck and it's not that easy. I mean, there's a lot of hard years. There's no quick fix, right?
It's your 10,000 hours.
Your 10,000 hours. And you put them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have, too.
Yeah, I mean, we all do.
You used to sell mattresses.
I did. I still do. I was shocked to learn, though, in your life, one of the great romances was Stevie Nicks of Fleetwood Mac. And this was kept on the down low, even during your whacked out years.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
But she says you were the love of her life and probably still are. What, is she one of those people you had to call and make amends to?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She's special.
She was in love. One of the greatest songwriters ever, right? Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
No?
Well,
am I wrong?
I mean, songwriters, in the big picture, all of us from the 70s are memorable and notable, but I mean, the greatest songwriters are like guys from the 30s and 40s. And
do you really believe that? You don't believe Jimi Hendrix was a great songwriter? Paul Simon?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You don't consider yourself a great songwriter?
Well, I don't think it's fair to say one of the best ever to anybody.
But what a powerful couple. But Stevie Nicks and Joe Walsh.
Stevie's very high on the list.
Were you in love with her?
Did they write together?
I don't know. Did you guys ever write together?
She helped me do the Confessor album.
No kidding.
She rode shotgun with me on that one and gave me some direction. And she's really good at the craft of songwriting.
Which means what? Sitting down and really putting a pen to paper and actually trying to figure out the lick and all that?
Left to my own devices, I will have 85 pieces of paper with a couple words on each.
Right.
And people like her and my wife Marjorie now help me get 85 words on one piece of paper.
How do they help you do that? I mean, you're a songwriter. It's a creative process for you. How do they focus you to take all those 85 slips of paper and combine them into a song?
Well, my wife is a closer. That's what she does. When I say it's the part of me that was missing, I got a little attention deficit.
Right.
But in the 50s, that wasn't diagnosed. You were just difficult.
Right.
But I got it.
Yeah.
You know, I see that in one of my sons. I learned about it, and I had it screaming in the 50s.
It's one of those things that affects you where you can't keep your mind on one thing.
You can't complete tasks. I have a great idea, fantastic idea, and I get it started, and wait a minute, I have another idea. So there it sits.
You know, I'm reading a book about this. It's called Get Things Done.
Yeah.
Do you ever read this book?
No.
I've just started reading it. I just learned about it.
Yeah, so I have great ideas lying all over the place.
And what do you do? Do you speak into a little tape recorder? And how does the songwriting process go for Joe Walsh personally? Would you be fucking around with your guitar? You start to, pick at a few notes and go, that's cool? Or do you hear the song in your head first? You once told me years ago, you always have a song in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how do you get it out physically? Because don't you go, oh, my God, this is good. I don't want to lose this. What do you do? What's the first thing you do? So you don't forget it.
Well, you can carry around a little recorder.
Do you do that?
And put ideas down. When I remember to, yeah.
Because you need a giant inbox, so to speak. And then, but by that I mean, you need a place that whenever you get an idea, you just put it in there so you don't have to sit and worry. Didn't that worry you when you had a great hook or something and you'd say, oh, shit, I can't forget it, I can't, or you didn't care?
It depends. When I was wasted, I would write it down, except in the morning, it didn't make any sense.
Okay, a song like Life's Been Good So Far. Life's Been Good So Far. You're standing around one day. Do you hear the words first or the music?
Usually the music.
The music?
Yeah.
You hear...
It's real abstract, and I think it's the same for all of us. You hear an idea, and it's kind of a symmetry.
So did you hear? So when you say you heard an idea, symmetry, was it like? Yeah,
as a matter of fact, yeah.
That's what you heard.
Yeah.
And then you go, I don't know what the fuck to do with that.
Well, you go, okay, there's something.
Right. Now, what do you do with that? You go over to a tape recorder and you go.
I kind of have a place in my head
that it goes
with different drawers.
Really? And you retain this?
Yeah.
I wonder I'm wondering, why don't you think this is something you've heard before? Like you're humming somebody else's tune.
I'm amazed that I would sit there and think how many songs he forgot that are in that drawer.
Well, think of how many songs never got written that people had. Yeah, Robin, you're right. Whatever you just said, I forgot.
Sometimes you think it's something you heard.
Yeah, right. Well, that's where you go, aha.
Right.
You mess around with old blues licks, and you mess around, and you realize, boy, this is fantastic. Oops. Except it's a Hendrix lick. And you think, oh, well, start again. But once in a while, you get a nibble.
Did you ever meet Hendrix?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you ever get to play with him?
Not live.
Not live.
Backstage.
You went backstage. Where was this?
Youngstown, Ohio.
Back in the early 70s?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're, what, doing a concert?
Yeah.
James Gang concert at that point?
James Gang, Hendrix, and Sly and the Family Stone.
All on the same bill.
Wow. Remember in those days?
Wow, yeah.
You had 3 headliners on a show.
And who opened that show?
We did.
The James Gang.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What a show.
Yeah.
And then Sly and the Family Stone, and then I guess Hendrix.
Well, Sly never came out of his dressing room.
Yeah, right. But there's another guy. I mean, he's a difficult guy, right? He's had his problems.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever came out of them like you
Still
did.
going through it, yeah.
I don't think he made it.
No. Do you ever see him around? No. He's like a recluse.
There's been Sly sightings, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him on some award show or something.
Yeah, but a few months ago, we were reading that he was in a trailer parked outside somebody's house.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God you didn't go that route.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And does that give you the shakes at night sometimes? You go, shit, I could have really, really fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I am so grateful to be alive and sober.
So Hendrix is backstage. And what happened?
He's backstage. We're in a, like, dressing room.
Oh.
Which is like where a hockey team changes or something, you know.
Not glamorous.
So yeah, right. and he's there, and I finish, and we finish, and we're in the same dressing room. So he's sitting playing his guitar, and I come in with mine.
Right.
And
you have a jam session, so to speak.
A little bit. Yeah. I showed him my guitar, and he showed me his.
Do you get intimidated by a guy like that?
Nah, he was a wonderful guy. Of course, I'm intimidated.
By his talent, I mean.
By him. He had an aura. I mean, he had feathers on. I mean, it was terrifying.
Well, you talk about that. I read that Clapton and a bunch of other guys at the time who were considered top guitarists all went to see Jimi Hendrix when he first came on the scene. They went to a club and they all looked at each other and they went, shit, we don't even really play the guitar.
What the hell are we doing?
What are we doing? That was the famous story.
Generally thought by the community. Yeah, what the hell are we doing?
Did you feel that way?
Yeah,
you did when you played with. When you played with him, did he say, "Oh wow, Joe, maybe we should get together in a studio and do something together," or never got that far?
No, never got that far. But he showed me his guitar, and I paid attention to how the heavy strings, light strings,
right.
How high are the strings? What's the action? Because he was a tough one, because he was left-handed.
Right.
So everything was backwards. That's why he sounded like that. None of us right-handed guitar players could do what he was doing.
Was he playing a lefty guitar?
No.
He was playing a right-handed guitar
upside
with his
down.
Upside down. Oh, wow.
That's why he sounded like that.
And
that's why we couldn't crack the code.
Oh, my God. That's fascinating. Yeah.
That's why we were all hitting ourselves in the head.
But that's why you're a great guitar player, because you're a student. You sit there. Those are the guitar lessons you talk about.
Yeah.
Sitting with Jimi Hendrix, it's a master class.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even if it's 3 or 4 minutes. Right. And I had a Les Paul, and he looked at that, and he was really, really nice, and just a good guy.
Isn't it weird too? Because Hendrix is, of course, remembered for his music, but also for the excesses, like the drug taking, fucking chicks, getting plaster cast on his dick. It takes away from his legend in a way. It really does.
That's the way it was back then. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
You could get away with a lot of stuff back then that you can't now.
Right.
You probably noticed.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's a whole different universe, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Joe, where do you think rock and roll is going? Speaking of back then and today, like there's not rock radio stations.
Boy, Robin, that's a good one,
Is rock dead?
Yeah, I think so, pretty much.
It's pretty dead because there's not a lot of rock and roll radio stations. And we were talking about this on the show the other day. We were talking about that it's almost like, I think Robin said it, that rock and roll is going to be like jazz in a way. It's going to be just this art form that existed and was big, and then some guys will still play it, but it's not going to have.
It's dead, but it's not dead, but it's not number one. Country's number one.
But I never thought I'd see the day that, rock and roll was such a part of my life.
Howard, think of it. That's what Analog Man is all about.
Right. The new album.
The digital technology is nice, but along with it is this virtual world that we all go in more and more.
Yeah.
And it doesn't exist. It's in a computer. It's an illusion. And we sit in chairs. Our bodies sit in chairs for hours waiting for our minds to come back.
Yeah.
I like side B.
Right.
I like cart machines. It's different, man. It's different for us.
Yeah.
And the problem with the with the digital technology,
right?
It ate the record business.
It did, yeah.
It ate radio.
So you're not on Twitter, are you?
It ate intellectual property.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that drive you crazy as an artist that, a guy who's like you, like a musician who comes up now, they can't even sell a record because everything's out there for free. People don't go and buy DVDs and CDs.
I know.
They rip them off and that. It does seem unfair, right?
People ask me, what advice do you have for the upcoming musician? I don't have any. I'm trying to figure it out, too.
What is your game plan with the new CD? In other words, it's hitting the stores, I think, today, right? Tomorrow, all right? And you have a new single out. But what's the game plan? Can you really... Well, I guess you could go around the country and play these songs. It's almost like starting over. Joe Walsh is one of the biggest names in rock, and yet it's almost like you're starting over again. You got to go out, play for audiences, and introduce them to this music.
It's a fresh start for me.
So what are you going to do? What's the game plan?
Well, the deal with everything is, in lieu of record companies, the way to do it now is the social network. You have to get visible.
Yes.
If you can make people aware that you have a record out, they'll find it.
Right. So your game plan is to use social media and sort of get because like look at some of the great artists. Paul McCartney just came out with an album. Nobody gave a shit. You know what I mean? Paul McCartney. It's like everyone has an even playing field now. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to bank on your name. It's just that I feel great for guys like you who have an audience already, and you can go out and do a James Gang tour, or you could go do a Joe Walsh tour, or you could do an Eagles tour. So you're fine. Nothing's going to bother you. But when you put out new music like you just have, that's the conundrum. That's the thing that you can't figure out.
You can't assume that you're going to have a hit record.
No.
What's platinum now? 50,000 copies.
That's right. Go make a living doing that.
Woo!
Right. How many records how many records between the Eagles and the James Gang have you sold? And Joe Walsh solo stuff?
I don't know.
You never counted it up?
I lost count after about 85,000. I was counting them on my fingers.
You mean you really don't know, Joe? Isn't that an impressive number to know for yourself and look back and say, you know what, I can reflect on that number?
Probably, but in that category, I'm not really that big of a fish. Look at somebody like Jeff Lynne.
Now, Jeff Lynne produced your new record.
Yeah.
Jeff Lynne was, of course, of Electric Light Orchestra, ELO, and he's a great legendary...
That guy sold some records.
Did he?
Yeah.
More than you?
ELO, I think so.
But if you count the Eagles...
Well, Eagles, Eagles.
Eagles are one of the biggest selling bands of all time.
Yeah,
Hotel California, I think...
California
isn't that the
alone.
one album I think that's the #1 album for the Eagles ever?
Greatest hits.
Greatest hits.
Greatest hits.
Yeah, we go back and forth with Michael Jackson.
What's the best song you ever wrote? Seriously, out of all the songs, I have, I don't know if it was Funk 49, Walk Away. I don't know. I could name Rosemary,
Rosewood Bitters.
Rosewood Bitters. It's more. I think all these great songs. What is the greatest song you ever wrote that you're most proud of?
The one you love the most.
Yeah.
Eagles wise, I co-wrote "Life in the Fast Lane" with
Great
Don
song.
and Glenn.
Right.
Yeah.
Solo wise, probably Rocky Mountain Way.
Yeah, what a song. Do you still stop and listen to that on the radio? I mean, it's on the radio all the time on classic rock stations. If you hear it, will you stop and listen to it and go, man, that's a good fucking record? Or will you just
that?
Yeah, will you just tune by and say I don't want to hear it again?
One of the things that makes it magic is it's a bunch of guys playing in a room.
Right. Rocky Mountain Way.
You're listening to how it was made.
That groove you can't do with Pro Tools.
No. And you remember when you came up with that, or were you so drunk? Like, was that part of your drunken formula where, like, hey, I get really high and I write? Do you remember any of that process of writing that great song?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What was the process on that one?
I was in Colorado.
Right.
I had left the James Gang. I was worried that I might have made a mistake.
It's scary.
Yeah.
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 Because that was a successful entity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we were doing fine.
Why did you leave?
3-piece band. I just got saturated with playing really loud and being like a kick-ass guitar guy.
Right.
Playing through Marshalls and stuff.
Why, you thought on your own you could, tone it down?
I was hearing all these songs like with a piano.
And they didn't want that. The other two guys were against it.
Kinda.
And also your audience demanded you be a certain sound. So if you went to a piano, you were afraid the audience would reject. So you just said, fuck it, I'll leave the whole thing.
Yeah.
Did those guys want to kill you for breaking up something successful?
No.
Did you call to apologize to them when you got sober?
I didn't have to really apologize. I apologized when I quit. I just said, guys, I can't do this. I'm a musician, too.
Yeah.
And I got to go have a look at that.
And so so you were scared, you were in Colorado.
I'm in Colorado, okay. And I have an album done, which was the Barnstorm album. The first solo album I did, and I'm mowing the lawn. And
you were mowing the lawn.
I was mowing the lawn. Yeah,
rock stars mow lawns.
I didn't have any words for Rocky Mountain Way, but we had the track done.
Right.
And I'm just dead in the water about this song. What is it about?
You mean you just hear music? There's no vocal. There's no tune really, except that.
If there were words, I hear where they go.
But you don't have the actual words.
I don't know what they are.
So how do they come to you?
Well, I'm on the lawn. I look up, and there's the front range of the Rocky Mountains with snow on them in the summer.
Right.
And it knocked me back because it was just beautiful. And I thought, well, I have committed. I'm in Colorado. It's too late to regret the James Gang. The Rocky Mountain Way is better than the way I had because the music was better. And I got the word bam. And he's telling us this, tells us that, changes it every day. That's about the James Gang's manager.
Right.
We don't need the ladies crying because the story's sad. That's giving up the regret of leaving the James Gang. And I got all those words all at once, and I ran into the house to write the words down. And the lawnmower kept going over into the neighbor's yard and ate the garden. It was an expensive song to write, but...
Oh, I got the chills when you tell me that.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I get the chills because that's such a fucking cool process. I wish I had that ability.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Do you have trouble with your neighbors? You had a problem where some neighbor was like stalking you or something, or you had to go to court with the guy, or there was something, he came over with an...
Oh, yeah, that guy.
What happened there?
He finds pieces of property and builds houses on them.
Right.
And they shouldn't really have houses on them.
Right.
But he has friends at City Hall.
Oh.
And,
it's a complicated life.
I was wishing he wasn't doing that.
Right.
So I didn't help him.
I see. He got frustrated with you.
And he got frustrated, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
It's complicated being Joe Walsh sometimes. But now it seems like it's a lot simpler. You get the wife, you're happy.
Oh, it's so much simpler.
Now, let me say that Joe Walsh's new solo album, Analog Man, is in stores tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Hey, I didn't finish that thought, though, with Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
I mean, you two became this couple, and she says you are the love of her life.
All those songs were about Joe?
Yeah. She wrote one about me, yeah.
What was the big one about you?
Joe?
Joe just fell asleep.
Yeah.
He's thinking of the name.
I'm trying to. I'm embarrassed. I don't.
Was it a
remember
Fleetwood
the name.
Mac song, or was it from one of her solos?
One of her solos.
One of her solo albums.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stand.
Has anyone ever wrote a song for you?
Hell no. I wish you
No,
would.
that's how the song goes. Stupid.
Shit. When are you going to write a song about me? Actually, I got a...
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I got an email from Leslie West. He claims he has an idea. He was thinking of me, wants to write a song about me. I'm very honored.
That's flattering.
I feel like a hot chick.
Well, you better wait till you hear it first.
Yeah.
Give my best to Leslie.
I will. You know, he lost his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but he's doing well.
Yeah.
He has a great spirit about him.
He's a great guy.
And a great guitar player.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Now, there's a guy that could probably be on Rolling Stone's list.
Yes.
Where the hell's he?
Exactly.
He's not on the list either?
That's right. Well, anyway, the legendary Joe Walsh, who is doing so well, happily married now.
Happily
Very
married.
happy for Joe.
And Ringo is your brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law.
Do you
guys
hang?
get together?
Yeah, we hang.
You do.
Do you sign autographs?
Joe, do you sign on? Because Ringo has stopped signing everything. That was...
I signed his name for him.
You do.
That's why he got me.
Ringo comes over the house, and it's like a family get-together.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. I mean, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah,
He says, sign all these albums for me. I'm done.
You get along with each other?
Very well.
You do.
You know, he's so down to earth, Paul too, for what those guys have been through.
Right.
And the really good positive energy. And in terms of a family, I got this huge family that came along with my wife, and it's a dynamic I'd never been around because they're really close. And learning to be part of is one of the things that has opened me up.
Right.
And made me feel, given me confidence, which is something I never had. That's why I drank.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're not drinking. I'm glad you're healthy.
So having Ringo, his insight and his wisdom has helped me with my life and as a human being, besides the music part of it.
Yeah, he seems like a real good. I mean, I don't. I got to know Paul McCartney a little bit. What a amazing guy.
Yeah.
I mean, something else.
Yeah.
I always say, you talk about guys who strip it down, so to speak, who are analog men. I was talking the other day. I heard a song of his that I hadn't heard in years. It was from his first solo album after he left the Beatles. It was Turn It Up. What's the name of that song?
Ooh You.
Ooh You. And I love this song, Ooh You, but it's so fucking stripped down. And in fact, he's in a studio doing it, and he says, "Turn it up." He's talking to the engineer. It became part of the song.
Yeah,
that's the shit I like.
That's analog.
That's analog. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You and Ringo, you and Ringo ever swap sisters? Would that ever happen? Like you do him?
Howard, I'm not going to stoop to that mentality. Let's go get our asses waxed.
Right. Listen, this. Oh, and by the way, the single is "Lucky That Way." I'll play a little.
Is that right? I want to hear. Yeah.
Let me see. "Lucky That Way" sounds like your life now. Joe Walsh, the new solo album "Analog Man." And that's in stores tomorrow. Why do you always do that? In a lot of your songs, when you're singing about yourself, you say, "I'm not that special." I'm like, you know.
But you may know me.
Even like in Life's Been Good, you're like, "Yeah, my fans love me, but I'm not that great an artist." Why do you put yourself down in your own songs?
Well, I could either explain it or you could listen to the song.
It's in there. Okay.
Oh, it's in there. All right. It feels good to be you.
It does. Listen to the chorus.
I am.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the chorus.
When you wrote you had a Maserati, did you really have the Maserati?
It would be logical.
But do you really have the palm trees in the swimming pool now?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Here we go.
Here we come. This is it.
There you go.
I'm just lucky that way.
Yeah.
What is it, Gary? How dare you interrupt my... What? He's handing me a piece of paper.
Let me tell you what it is.
Oh, here. Oh.
That's a song that Stevie wrote for Joe. God, she must have loved you.
Let's see. The song? The song is called Has Anyone Ever Written Anything For You, as Joe said. And I thought he was talking to me. Listen to this lyric. You know I'd rather be alone than be without you, don't you know? She'd rather be alone than be without you. What the fuck did you do to this girl? You must
He's just lucky that way.
You must have banged her silly. Were you in love with her?
As a sister.
Really? God, she was. I mean, I imagine this was the 70s, right?
I mean, she's like a soulmate, you know?
You still talk to her?
Once in a while.
This was like in the 70s, right? I mean, was there a more beautiful, physically beautiful woman than Stevie Nicks and all that talent? I mean, you would think that's the whole package. I mean, that would be my fantasy.
Were you not into her?
No, I was, Robin. That didn't come out right. All I'm saying is that we were seeking refuge, kind of, in each other's presence.
Because you both were into drugs at that point?
Kind of, yeah, there was that part of it, but we were on the road, we had careers, we were both lonely.
Why did you never marry her? Did the thought cross your mind at one point?
No.
And you never thought that way even in terms of like a powerful couple? Like, oh my God, there's two incredibly powerful people in rock and roll.
Or maybe that would have been too much.
Well, the relationship came and ran its course, as rock and roll relationships do.
Does it get competitive? Like, do you sit there and she was in Fleetwood Mac at that point, I guess?
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't.
No.
She was a solo, or she was in Buckingham Nicks.
Yeah.
And does it get competitive? Is that the problem? Like, you could never really marry another singer-songwriter because the two of you sit there and drive each other nuts with that stuff, career?
What made it possible was that we toured together.
Right. So when you tour together, it's
and we spent all that time together.
But you were not monogamous with her, so she probably got jealous too. Because knowing you back in those days, you were not going to be limited to one woman. True? You weren't going to be limited to one drink and not one woman. You were an addict.
We were both monogamous for that summer.
That's a pretty long time.
Yeah.
So you felt something for her. Well, yeah, in rock and roll, that's 10 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. When we stopped touring, we
drifted apart.
I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to.
Look at you. What a life.
But do you think you could have been with somebody as powerful and talented as Stevie?
No, I don't think either of us could have committed to a lasting relationship in the state that we were in.
You surprised Steven Tyler's a judge on American Idol? Seriously. I mean, Steven Tyler's one of the great songwriter, great rock and roll stars.
I don't exactly know why he's doing that.
I had heard that it was for the money. That literally he had gone through so much money that it was like a $10 million payday.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You held on to a lot of your money, even though all the marriages and getting high and everything. How did you manage to hold on to your money? I know you're worth $164 million.
You know that?
I do.
Who'd you hear that from?
Your accountant told me.
He's still got $164 million on his own.
No one told me, but I read it on the internet that you were worth around $164 million. And that makes sense to me. Between the Eagles
and all the music,
royalties and touring. But you could have lost it all, right?
I did.
You lost every dime you had?
Pretty much.
When was that?
When I went into recovery.
No kidding.
And then, in 1994, the Eagles decided to go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a clean start.
And they came to you and said, Joe, we're putting you in the band, but you got to get clean, right?
We can't do it without you. And we can't do it unless you're sober. Don and Glenn said that to me.
They saved your life.
It was an intervention. And they were real brothers when they did that.
That's right.
Because that's what I needed.
It motivated you.
You were broke?
So you are not worth $164 million.
No, I'm not.
Right. Because you got to get back, that's a lot of money. Does that bother you? Does that bother you at all that you pissed away a lot of money?
Not the money, the time.
You lost a lot of time in your life.
Yeah. There's like 12 years in there. I wish I had back.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm alive. I'm here.
It's true, because when you go through life that way, that high, it's like, wow, I don't even know what the fuck I did. There's so many things I could have learned.
Based on all accounts, I had a great time.
You don't remember.
I probably remember more.
Yeah, you know more than I do.
I remember doing a TV show, and I wanted you to be a guest,
Howard,
and you slept through it.
When I'm me all these questions, you know more than me.
I know, that's so true. All right, listen, Joe Walsh, it's exciting. New music from Joe. Analog Man is in stores tomorrow.
Hi, Marjorie, I love you.
Marjorie, I love you too, baby.
And Robin, I love you too.
I love you, Joe.
Hope you're feeling better.
JoeWalsh.com is where you can go to get all your Joe information. And Joe, anytime you come and see us, you know I like it. Next time, come back with a full album only about me. America's Sweetheart.
I'm going to call Leslie.
Call Leslie.
I think we could write a good song about you.
I think it's time you two teamed up and wrote a song about
That
me.
would be good.
I don't need you to make amends or anything like that with me. I'm fine with you.
Well, after we write the song, we may need to. Yeah.
The great and legendary Joe Walsh. Thanks, Joe.
Joe. That was so cool.
Yeah.
What elements would a song about Howard Stern have to contain? If you were gonna get together with Leslie and write a song, what does a Howard Stern themed song sound like?
Funky.
Yeah.
Kind of funky, kind of Ramones.
Little funk, a little punk.
Yeah, yeah, funky punk or punky funk, something like that. Words. Parts of it really nice and friendly, and parts of it awful. You know, like Howard.
Reflects his personality.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to talk to Leslie West, and I'll get back to you with more of it.
Cool. I think that would be a great song to hear.
Now, we got to think of stuff that rhymes with Stern.
Burn.
That's your homework assignment.
Burn is my first word there, 'cause he's got a fire inside him.
Yeah. What rhymes with Stern? Well, no, I'm not going to go there. Great to be back.
Joe, it's great seeing you. One quick thing I was going to ask you. You guys seem very like-minded when you talk about, digital technology and the virtual world and its influence on music. Do you think Howard's an analog man in spirit? The way he approaches his show and the love of the performance and some of the errors that come along with it?
Howard wouldn't be Howard without all those analog years of being on the radio and, like I say, cart machines and stuff. Howard's very good and belongs in the digital age. I know about it too, but Howard wouldn't be Howard without all those years of knowledge and insight of the analog days. That's all I'll say.
All right, Joe. Best of luck with the new album.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Friend and show is Old Friends Week at the Stern Show. Today's Joan Rivers.
Okay.
Okay?
She's got a new book out,
Yes, I know. I read about it in the newspaper yesterday.
You know what it's called? It's very similar to what I think you would title the book.
Yeah,
The first line is, I hate everyone.
That's it.
And then she says, starting with me. But I don't think you feel that way about yourself.
I don't hate myself.
You love yourself.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I love you. Good morning, Joan.
Good morning.
How are you today?
A little disappointed because you don't have your ice cream machine anymore.
We got rid of that?
I think so.
That's
I
not
didn't
right.
see it. Not right.
We lured you with ice cream, then we took it away.
Very important. Good morning. Good morning. Otherwise, I'm fine, thank you.
And you have a new book out,
I
so...
have a new book called Joan Rivers, I Hate Everybody, and it's the first book of comedy that was ever banned. Very excited.
It's already been banned?
It's been banned by, I'm not allowed to say the name, Costco.
That's kind of cool, though.
Beyond cool.
I mean...
Beyond cool, that means the nice thing is no very fat people will be able to buy it and hide it in their folds.
But everywhere else you can pick it up.
Everywhere else you can pick it up.
Just not if you want to buy bulk
No,
food
you can't
items.
buy it in bulk, can't buy a pallet. You can go to BJ's and buy it.
Well,
So
welcome.
that's what's going on. I'm thrilled to be here.
Good to see you again, Joan.
It's good to be going on the air like a real big person. And how is Howard now that he's rich?
I think he's doing well. I think he's enjoying this
Who is
run
he
on
on with?
AGT.
He's on with
It's Howie
Howie?
Mandel.
and Sharon.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I think he's enjoying this run, though.
He should. He should have done this a long time ago.
You've said it since the beginning.
From the beginning. He's terrific.
All right, I'll let you get to Howard.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, there's one other interesting thing, Howard. You know, it's funny. Tim had dinner with David Brenner last night.
Yeah.
And, you know, David Brenner's like trying to figure out, you know, how to reinvent himself and everything. But the question is like, Joan has sort of managed to remain iconic. And I know it's because she's funny. But there's a lot. Maybe it's because Joan just never stops. Maybe that's why. But she's certainly put herself in a place.
Well, she's also, like, she's willing to say shit that, like, David Brenner won't.
I guess, yeah, I guess that's what
like
it is.
She's outrageous.
Look, I got to tell you, I just filled her in on Robin in very broad strokes because she didn't know anything, and she's already got. She cracked like 3 jokes in there that made me laugh my ass off.
Oh no!
No, they're not bad. They're not. They're just stupid. But they're. I mean, they're nothing that will insult. Robin will laugh at them, and I would tell them to you, but I want you to laugh at them.
Okay.
Hey, Joan Rivers is here. Joan Rivers just came out with yet another new book, I Hate Everyone, starting with me. It's in stores today. A living legend.
Now, is she calling herself a living legend now?
I'm calling her a living legend. She's an icon, don't you think?
I didn't know if that was in the copy or if you said that yourself.
No, I'm calling her a living legend. I'm calling
All right.
Joan a living legend.
I certainly think so.
What?
Thank you.
You refuse to do the show without Robin?
I don't do the show unless Robin is sitting there.
Robin's gotten so lazy with this show that she does it from home now.
That bitch has lost so much weight.
That's right.
You can't find me.
I love you on the thing with Howie Mandel and Sharon.
America's Got Talent.
Oh, well, you know the name. I don't have to learn it.
Yeah, why do you need to learn that? Why do you need to be bothered? I enjoy doing it, I believe it or
You
not.
look like you enjoy doing
I'm
it.
having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, you know, what is left to do in my career except shock everyone with doing a family show?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, really, when you think about it, who would have expected that one?
But you're so cute, and so I go back to NBC when they had you in that closet.
Yeah,
Remember that?
right. Yeah,
So
long way.
You should have done this a long time ago.
You know, it's funny. Gary was just in here. We were talking about you behind your back, and I said, you know, and he said, you know, we have had so many comics on our show over the years, and we were just naming all the people who kind of have disappeared in terms of their careers. And Gary goes, don't you think it's amazing that Joan Rivers, I mean, really think about it. Like, she's still relevant and funny and like really has a real career as opposed to like a Mercy booking somewhere.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, and it is amazing. So he said, what do you think the secret is? And I said, I think the secret is she's funny. You know, she's like...
She's actually talented.
I keep looking over.
Yeah, I know, but I can't imagine... Oh, you keep looking over for Robin.
For Robin, I hear this stupid voice.
Well,
from nowhere.
I keep looking for her, and I want them to tape a picture of her over there.
What are you people talking about? What are you talking about?
But no, it's hard work. No, yes,
Because
funny.
aren't there days where you go, I don't want to keep up with pop culture?
No.
Honestly.
I don't want to keep up. I don't want... If one more person says, I love John Carson, who gives a shit?
Nobody remembers
The
John.
man is disintegrated even in his coffin.
Right.
There's nothing left there except 3 bones.
Although I did watch a special on Johnny Carson, and you were a part of it.
And
you were very complimentary to him.
And they cut out the one part, the truth. It's where that I called him And he hung up on me. And they have all these people saying, look who's saying it. The producer who hates me, who I hate.
They cut that out.
And they have the people saying she never called him.
Oh.
And I called the producer. Then they wanted me to do PR for it. And I called them up. I said, you have just perpetrated a lie.
Right.
Well, Johnny's wife, I said, oh, the third wife with the implants.
Right.
Yeah, she was walking the beach looking for him in Malibu. I know how she met him.
Johnny's wife has a say on the special?
Yes, she decided. Alex decided.
Is it true that...
Number 22.
Is it true that your birthday is coming up?
Yeah.
Can I say... Are
79.
You,
How about that
I didn't know
one?
if you gave that out, but...
That's amazing.
Can you believe you're 79?
No. I'm in perfect health. That's the joke. And everyone around me is dropping dead.
Because I can't even believe it's 79. Like, when you wake up in the morning that you even care
I don't even think
about your career. I really can't believe it.
But I love what I do.
Yeah, I know, but like...
Howard, they just banned my book. How fabulous is that?
Yeah, that was weird.
Fabulous. It's some asshole.
Who is banning
But
your
where
book?
was it banned, by the way?
I'm not allowed to say the name, so you have to give me a hint.
Okay, Walmart?
No.
No? Costco? Okay. They banned your book because, well, the
people
back...
that sell pink meat.
It's funny. It says here on the back of your book there are quotes. Will Chamberlain said about your book, "If I was alive, even I wouldn't fuck her."
Yeah, that's what I wrote quotes that I thought were appropriate for the book.
Dr. Kevorkian said of your new book, "This author should be euthanized."
That's right. Maria Antoinette was the one they didn't like.
It says, "Let her eat shit."
Yeah, I thought that was a testimonial to their produce department.
So they were afraid that if someone picked up the book jacket, they would see the word shit, and then that would corrupt them.
Meanwhile, they sell
people.
ammo to children.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Who was ever hurt by that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so stupid. But I got so excited because I'm from the generation where they used to ban books in Boston.
Right.
I said, this is fabulous because it's a funny book.
It is funny. In fact, I was looking through the book, as long as we're talking about your book.
Oh, we don't have to.
No. I want to talk about it because there was one quote that I thought was outrageous. And in a politically correct society, to say this, I'm going to quote you now. I thought this was pretty wild. Let me find it because I have a lot of quotes.
I have never been politically correct.
All right, listen to this. You write about, in your new book, the TV show Glee.
Yeah.
You say on Glee, all the homo kids. Now, this is a quote. Okay, because a lot of people aren't saying that kind of stuff anymore. Okay. On Glee, all the homo kids are smiling and giggly, and they spend every day singing in the halls. When I went to high school, the homos spent most of their days hiding in their lockers crying.
That's right.
You feel a show like Glee should be about kids hiding in their lockers, right?
Everybody's happy. The fat girl is singing.
Yeah, right. It's true. In high school, where is the reality in that? The fat girl had to hide.
Leah Michelle, whose nose continues around the corner.
You're like, what planet is this?
Yeah, this is not the high school I went to.
Well, maybe the feeling is if they present an imaginary high school where everyone has fun, that all the high schools around the country, all the kids will think gay people are fun.
Yeah, let's include the crippled kid on the team. I was on the baseball team. I played so far out. By the time I came in from the outfield, we had to go back again.
Do you think it built your character, Joan, that you were ostracized as a teenager and that you were locked in your locker many times and things like that? Like, in other words, it built character. It can't all be good.
I think it's great sometimes. And I'm being serious now.
Go ahead.
That you get a couple of knocks. I think the stupidest thing is all these little crappy kids who can't play, they all get like a certificate.
A trophy.
You were good, you get a trophy. No.
You were bad.
Oh, you know what I hate the most?
What?
When people say to the child, the divorce had nothing to do with you. Meanwhile, your big head stretched your mother's vagina.
and
she's flapping in the wind.
It's so big that the husband didn't want to bang her
That's
anymore.
it. The husband and 4 people were in there.
You make a good point. Now, on Octomom, you wrote that her uterus is like a sausage maker.
Yes.
You're right. It's true. Right. I spoke to her the other day. Wait, I'm going to give you a couple of quotes.
Did you talk to her?
I did.
You can't talk to her.
We did speak to her.
Totally crazy. You can't.
Yeah, she's totally wild. She just doesn't shut up.
And why won't nobody's addressing that these children are trapped in a house with her?
I know. Well, thank God she's not Kate Gosselin.
Now, what about this? Can you be sued in your book for writing about Oprah in this manner? Did you check this with lawyers?
I checked this with lawyers, and it's a humor book.
I see. Because it says here...
That's how you get away with it.
It's a humor book.
You say Oprah is Stedman's beard.
That's what I think.
Yeah, you say... yeah, sure, Oprah denies it, but even Abraham Lincoln didn't have this big a beard. I know Oprah's opened schools and raised money and given away big, Buicks and things like that, but so what? She can't keep her weight at a reasonable level because that's important to you, right? I mean, someone has to keep their weight at a reasonable level. One day she weighs 140. 2 days later, she's being fitted for a boat cover. How long did it take you to write this vicious book?
Yes, I mean, did this
Honestly.
just pour out of you, or did you have to labor over it?
You're such an angry woman.
It's funny.
Are you angry? Are you an angry woman?
Oh, I think I'm furious.
Yeah, you are. What do you think you're furious about, honestly?
About the stupidity of everything.
You think that's it, or does it go deeper? Does it go back to your mother and father? No, I'm being serious for a second.
Yeah.
Do you think,
Like your personal anger.
Do you think you're so angry that it goes back to like your mom and dad not treating you properly?
They were very good parents.
Were they?
Yeah, and I had what they call a very good childhood.
They understood you?
To a
Then
point.
What happened?
I get a feeling they didn't.
My father was a doctor. He worked hard. My mother was a housewife. She did her best.
Right.
They cared about the girls, my sister and I. Did they sit there and worry? Like I worried everything that Melissa did.
Right.
I doubt it.
Is your sister still alive?
My sister's still alive.
Is she totally jealous of you and your career?
Probably. But
she married woman?
She married, 2 children, both did well. She's a lawyer.
Are you angry that she had the marriage that lasted and that she's happier than you?
She's not happy at all.
She isn't? Oh, she's miserable?
I'm very happy.
Is she happy in her marriage?
She's happy. Well, he died.
Oh, he died. So she is happy.
Well, look at the age.
Yeah, right. How many guys last that long?
These men are dropping like flies.
You're not kidding. So when you write a book like this, you sit down, and how long does it take you to write a book?
I wrote it it's a humor book. It's just what I think about everybody.
Right.
And what I think about everything. Children on planes.
Right. Terrible, right?
Well,
what do you do?
Where is Casey Anthony when you need her?
Right.
How are they supposed to get around you?
I don't care. When I had Melissa, we went on a plane. I would bring wrapped gifts. Like, she had a Barbie doll, so I'd wrap up a pair of shoes. Every half hour, she got another little present that she had to open and play with. She was my responsibility to keep her quiet.
So you kept her quiet by doing that on the plane. That's very fair to the other passengers.
That's the only way you should do it.
Right. You planned ahead.
Or chloroform it. I mean, you got 2 choices.
Yeah, because I went to the movies the other day. I went to see Avengers, which is a scary movie to bring a 5-year-old to. And these 5-year-olds, I mean, you can't do that. You can't bring a 5-year-old to a movie like that.
And God forbid you turn around and say, please keep your child quiet or get out.
Oh, I told the woman to get the fuck out.
Good.
Yeah, I really did.
You should.
Yeah, I'm glad she didn't punch me in the face, but I mean, I was really pissed. The kid's going, Mommy, I'm scared. I'm scared. And I go, get her the fuck out of here.
Take him out.
Right. I'm angry too.
I took Cooper out of Mary Poppins. He got scared of that ugly Mary Poppins, so he left.
Your grandson got scared at Mary Poppins?
When he was young.
I'm worried about this kid.
Well, listen, an ugly woman with an umbrella.
Do you get jealous of female comics, particularly female comics who, like, you kind of see, like Lisa Lampanelli right now is very hot, right?
Well, to a point. How many black I fucked him jokes can you do?
So you're not thrilled with her?
She'll cool off. No, she's a one-note comic. She's fine, but she's not. Here we go. She's fine.
Why are you being diplomatic?
Because she's going to come after me, and she's probably a very nice girl.
Oh, my.
No, but I'm
I
saying,
don't think
like
she's
some
one
people
note.
say Lisa Lampanelli is the new Joan Rivers. You know, they're always looking for the new Joan Rivers. But you feel she has not earned that title.
Oh, no. She's very good on a certain level.
Right.
And Joan Rivers, we don't need a new one. We've got one.
And I think this sounds terrible. It's 79. I think I'm unique. I think I'm very lucky.
Well, you are unique.
And I think I'm the best stand-up alive today. How about that?
But you're not gracious, let's say,
no,
to
I'm not
like
gracious.
Lisa. Right. You're like I don't need to be gracious to Lisa. Like, you don't feel like, hey, look what I've created. I've created a job for a lot of women.
Are you gracious? I'm not gracious. I'm fighting for where I love what I do. I do it great, and I get out of my way.
So if you see Lisa Lampanelli, do you go up to her and say, "Oh, you're doing fine," but you don't embrace her?
I'm doing. She started with me one time.
She did?
About something. I thought, first of all, I didn't even know who she was.
Right.
So then they said, well, Lisa Lampanelli said, they didn't use her on the comedy special, my comedy thing. So she started doing a lot. I kept saying, who is she?
Right.
And then I saw her stuff. And every time you see her, it's still, I fucked a black guy, I got a black guy, I need a fucking black guy. Okay, let's get a second story in here.
You've fucked many black guys.
Oh, my God.
And you don't dwell on it.
Melissa's furious.
She never even talked about it.
I've talked to a point.
By the way,
Melissa gets upset because she's jealous.
In your new book, you talk about black people, and you say...
I talk about everybody.
Yeah, and you say that you feel black people already have to figure out what to call themselves.
Yes.
You say in the book that, when you were a young girl, everyone said colored, and then all of a sudden they wanted to be Negro. Then you say they wanted to be black. Now they want to be African American. You said, white people aren't that bright. We can't follow along. Pick a name and fucking stick with it.
Pick a name and I'll do it.
You say this in the new book.
Yes, the book is hilarious.
So there's wisdom in this book.
Thank you, Howard. There's wisdom.
And talk about when you used to fuck black guys. Melissa's real father is Malcolm X, you reveal in the...
Well, no, actually it's Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington.
I went for looks.
That's right. A lot of people don't know that. 79 years old.
Yeah, but I just got my checkup.
And you're still fighting with these young comics.
You're goddamn right.
Maybe that's what keeps you alive.
And when they come over to me and they say, you opened the door, and you want to say, sweetheart, I am still opening those doors. Doors you won't even see for 10 years.
And you say your health is good. Have you been to the doctor?
Yeah, all the time.
And you probably go like constantly, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure you're going to stay alive.
Yeah.
Checking everything.
Well, Melissa always says things like, if you get pains in your left arm and short of breath, that's good. It means you're losing weight.
Don't check that one.
Don't check that, mother.
Can you even count back how many years it's been since you lost your virginity, or you've lost count?
Well, it's all grown back.
You're kidding. You haven't gotten laid in so long that your virginity
I wouldn't
grew
know. This hotel has been closed so long.
Your hymen grew back.
Oh, it's so sad.
I hope you write about that.
I could marry a Hasidic because I'm pure.
You're pure. You could act.
But does Joan Rivers masturbate at 79?
That's a good question.
That's a wonderful question. And we won't go there. Ask Jane Fonda with her new body.
Boy, she looks good, right?
She does, yeah.
She looks great.
You got to admire her. In fact, someone said to me the other day, young guy, he goes, this sounds weird, I guess, but I guess Jane Fonda was up here promoting, or he saw her on TV, and he said, I'd fuck her.
Yeah. Don't you look... Oh, all right. This is one of my big pet peeves. Beautiful older women and a real schlumpy guy with stuff coming out of his nose. I might fuck her. And you want to go, she wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, this guy, I think he was missing half his limbs, and he was ready to go fuck.
That's a turn on to me, though.
Hey, listen, compared to who you're dating, it's a pleasure. Are you dating?
I'm not dating now.
Why won't you say it? I want to know, does a 79-year-old woman still need to masturbate? Honestly, but a straight answer. You do?
Everybody.
Wow. I thought that maybe the desire leaves.
The desire never, and the look for romance never leaves.
Wow.
But
is it romantic masturbating?
Oh yeah, well, I always put a picture up.
You still pray for romance?
I'm moving to women now, though.
You still pray for romance?
Yeah, I would still love a romance.
You never made it with a woman, did you?
No,
never.
Truly, never even had like a girl crush. No.
Right, girl crush is silly.
That's so stupid. What are you talking about?
Where did you get your vibrator from?
The boobies get in the way.
Where did you get your vibrator from? QVC?
My vibrator, I got when I did.
You got to put out a line.
I had a vibrator show on vibrators on my daytime show.
Yeah.
So this vibrator that I have is so old. It says "Beat the Japs." It was made in World War II.
Let me understand something with you. You're at war with everybody.
Yeah.
Isn't it true that you met Will Ferrell? I'm going back now a couple of years.
Yeah. Very
in 2005 Golden Globes. Will Ferrell was on the red carpet. You were doing interviews. And you said he was very rude. Now, he seems like a guy who's nice to everybody.
Well, I was talking to Mike Nichols, interviewing Mike Nichols on the air. We all know. Live on E. And Will Ferrell, Mr. Important, walked up, turned Mike, and began to have a conversation with him. Not on the air with me.
Oh, that's
Do
funny.
you understand?
But isn't that kind of funny?
You son of a bitch. Who do you think you are? You big stupid elf.
Do you think that was meant intentionally to be funny? Because that sounds funny to me. That like you're.
It wasn't funny.
It wasn't.
When Robin Williams does something funny, you know it's funny.
Right.
When Dustin Hoffman, no, this was just an egocentric asshole.
But I know you love big moments. You know to recognize a moment. When that guy did, why didn't you confront him on the air?
I tried. He wouldn't stop talking to him. It wasn't funny.
That's funny.
It's funny, but
so you mean you went up to this guy and you were scared? Listen, you.
Look, hello, Mike. Hello.
So
they probably have it somewhere on on tape.
So you're convinced that Will Ferrell isn't a genius who constructed a situation for you that was brilliant?
No, this was called extraordinarily rude.
Wow.
An ego beyond egos. And you're funny, but you're not that funny.
Is it true that you claim, now, again, I can't even believe this number, that you've had a total of 739 cosmetic procedures?
I did it as a joke.
That is a joke,
and
right?
And some moron picked it up and wrote it.
I said, how is that even? You would not be alive.
What would you have I would be covered in bandages.
Yeah.
And by the way, let me say, how about how Letterman all of a sudden has embraced you?
We really like each other.
It's about fucking time.
Yeah, well, at least he does it. Leno, that asshole.
Scumbag.
Scumbag.
Let's call it the way it is.
That not funny, lucky.
That motherfucker.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go, baby. You think you're angry. Come on right now.
What is Leno doing? He doesn't acknowledge.
Never acknowledged, never asked on the show.
I can't acknowledge Joan Rivers. She hasn't done anything.
Yeah, a moron. But all the others, Jimmy Kimmel's been wonderful, Jimmy Fallon's been amazing, Letterman.
I think you're terrific on Letterman.
I love working with him.
I've watched every appearance you did on Letterman, and I used to say to you for years when I always had you on the show, I say, I don't understand why David Letterman doesn't have you on, and Leno and all these guys.
Yeah.
You're a terrific guest.
Yeah.
You come out there, you're prepared, and you work it. Like a woman who wants to succeed.
Yeah, I still do it like it's my first shot.
That's it. Do you think Leno doesn't have you on because it's still tied in with him trying to identify with Johnny Carson, that dumb fuck?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Right.
But at this point, he'll never have me on because I always say, quote, one funny joke Leno ever said, and nobody can come up with it.
Wait a second, though. As weird as this will sound, I will defend Jay as a young stand-up comic. He was great, right? Am I right or wrong?
As a young stand-up comic, he was very funny.
Very funny.
Very funny.
I would say one of the top guys.
Well, let's not push that either.
Really?
But he was good. He was very good. He was very good. Gary Shandling. There was a whole group that was coming up at the same time.
Does Gary Shandling still? How does he live? I mean,
I love Gary. He must have made a pile of money.
But on what? I asked him. I was at a party with him. I go, "How are you alive?" I go, "How do you eat?" I mean, what? You were on HBO. They're infamously cheap.
And he was on the.
Ask me how Bill Maher can buy a
$20 million.
Where did Bill Maher? I began to throw up my breakfast yesterday. 6 bagels came out of my mouth.
Now, Bill Maher's a good comic.
I love Bill. He's very smart. Where did you get the money to buy a baseball team?
Well, we were asking this question on the air yesterday. We were doing the finances. We said, like, how much money could Bill? In other words, to shell out $20 million to own part of the Mets, you would have to be worth at least $60-70 million at least. Because you can't give up every $20 million you got.
And maybe he's getting kickbacks from Huffington Post.
we had a theory that he didn't put up $20 million, that maybe he put up $1 million, and that other people are involved in his $20 million.
Right.
Do you think that's the case?
Yeah, then why don't they ever come to me with that? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. But
my fashion police.
What are you worth? Seriously.
Nothing. I'm not making
that is such horseshit.
I swear to you, on my grandson.
How are you worth nothing?
Because I was always salaried. Fashion police. I'm doing it now. It's a career move.
I know.
Joan and Melissa. It's a career move. Everything is a goddamn career move. It's time I got a little cash here. I don't own anything.
Joan and Melissa going into the third season.
Third season.
You don't own a piece of that show?
No.
And you're telling me that here's a show that's successful. 3 seasons now on E!
Yeah.
And they're not going to pay. They're like, no, Joan, this is just a vanity project.
Yeah. But look what it will do for your I'm not starving. I live very high.
I know.
As you know. But I don't have this kind of money. My accountant calls me up all the time. You got to sell either the country house or the city house.
Really? You don't have that kind of bread?
No.
It's remarkable to me.
Because
the clothing line, the
what is that?
The jewelry and the clothing line. I've done very well. They've kept me through the lean periods.
Right.
The jewelry and the clothing support me so I can do fashion police and
I feel like all of the money went into your face.
a lot of it went in my face, a little in the breast.
You're seeing it. You're looking at it.
I'm looking at it. Is it true?
Edgar's funeral cost me a fortune.
Tell me the truth, Joan, and clear this up for me. I know on your show, on your television show on E, you smoked marijuana.
That was on We.
That was on We, right? You're on We and E.
I'm on We and E and QVC.
Yeah. How about a real network finally?
Yeah, I'd like to be on NBC, but
exactly. Well, they're busy with me.
Exactly, which is great.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And Chelsea Handler's on NBC too. You know, she got. Hey, so this is interesting. I see you biting your tongue. Hold it. Last time you were here, you let Chelsea Handler have it. You gave it to her good, and you said, "How dare you?"
I don't care. I don't think she's particularly funny. We all know how she got what she got. She's doing okay. Good.
You're referring to the fact that she was dating Ted Harbor.
Dating?
Well, but she was living with Ted Harbor.
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Good. I don't care. But don't you come after me, you whore.
Who hates you? Joan Rivers was critical of you at one point, wasn't she?
Well, Joan Rivers. I mean, what the fuck do I care about Joan Rivers?
You don't care? It doesn't bother you? It does bother you.
I saw Joan Rivers the other day at E, and she said, "Hi, her and that daughter,
Melissa. Yeah.
And
you don't like Melissa?
No, I mean, I don't not like her. I mean,
right.
but I don't think about either one of them ever.
I have heard through the grapevine that the E Network came to you and told you to shut your mouth about Chelsea Handler.
They told both of us, and I think it was very smart.
Why?
Because, actually, the smarter thing was if we had a big feud. I think that would have been really smart.
Right.
It's like back to banning my book. I think that's great. But they said, please stop it.
You went along with that?
Oh, they're not. So they're lovely at E.
So what?
So I said, absolutely.
But what is that? I mean, I had Chelsea on the show. I asked her about you. That's how this whole thing got started.
Yeah.
And you came out, guns a-blazing, and
now
said, who are you?
And we went to the upfronts, which is where you go and you meet everybody that's connected with the network. And she said something very nice about me at the podium.
Did she come up to you and say this?
No, we don't talk when we see each other.
You're kidding still? Even at the upfronts, you didn't talk to each other?
Well, upfronts, 200 people. You can avoid a lot of people.
So there you were.
I can't talk to her. I can't talk to Lisa Lepid.
I mean, you're
How do you go to a party these days?
I don't.
She stays home. She goes to England to go to parties.
I'm surprised she's not there today.
There's some people
the Queen of England's having a jubilee.
Yeah, I know. I should be there. She called me last night.
Where were you? Didn't you do a stand-up in front of the Queen and said the word fuck?
Fuck, yeah.
And you told her you can behead me now?
Yeah, right now.
Right here,
I said,
behead me.
okay, let's just get it over.
Was she offended by that?
He laughed.
He laughed.
He
Prince
laughed.
Charles.
No, Philip.
Prince Philip.
And when they came down the line, the receiving line afterwards, he said to me, very funny, very funny, very funny.
Yeah. Very funny for a Jew.
Very funny for a Jewess.
So you well, get back to this for a second. The Chelsea Handler thing. I got to understand how this works.
I'm not going to make a feud here with her.
I'm not saying a feud, but I want the real Joan Rivers on this.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I want to know behind the scenes what goes on in your life. You came on here. You said, who is she? How dare she not look at me in the halls?
Right.
How dare she act like she doesn't know who I am? Because everyone knows who Joan Rivers is.
And that she's superior at times. Yeah.
Right. You really let her have it. I know my audience was very excited by this. They were like, wow, Joan, right on, blah, 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 blah. They like the feud.
Right.
But you come in here today, you bite your tongue.
Because I like the people at E. And
what did they say?
Down.
They
said, just let her alone. Let her alone.
Well, why?
E wants it to look like we're a happy family.
But you're not.
Well, we are. I don't need another feud.
So you go
How many times did I cross the street on one block?
It's amazing you're still alive. I'm surprised a hit wasn't put out on you.
You know what I'm
ago.
saying? There's so-and-so I got to cross over. There's so-and-so I got to cross back.
So you go to the upfronts. You're standing there, and Chelsea Handler's in the room. It's uncomfortable. Doesn't she walk over to the icon Joan Rivers and say, look, I'm sorry that this happened? No, she did not.
No.
Again, she dissed you.
But she went on stage and she said something very nice about Joan.
What did she say?
I was backstage, but my friend said she said something like, and my friend Joan is here or something.
My friend Joan, who I don't even look at when...
but she said that, and I thought that was very nice and very gracious.
So if people say something publicly, but then behind the scenes won't even look at you...
Well, that's me all the time.
But no, that's not true. That's not true.
Last night, Meryl Streep gave me her garbage to throw away. It was at a party.
No, be honest.
She said, "Could you let this?"
I would have thought Joan Rivers would have said to E, "Listen, go fuck yourself. I'll say what I want about everyone," and then she should apologize to me.
And she should have. But you want to know? Then you have to say, "I am the grand icon," and I'm not. I am still in that trench fighting.
Did Betty White and you smoke weed together? Is that a true story?
No.
You were.
I did the Betty White show.
You did.
Yeah.
And you even say
never
in your
again.
book, you even
really never
really?
again. Why?
They were lovely. Betty was lovely. All the cast was lovely. First day, I also did Drop Dead Diva, which is first day I get there, and I'm playing her auntie, her twin sister that comes back. So I say to them, "Where do I come from? Should I have luggage?" They said, "Just read the lines." Now we read the lines, and I start to the way I work. Let me ad-lib, let me see. They call my manager the first day. They said, "Tell her to do the script as is."
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa, okay.
Then why did you hire Joan Rivers?
Well, maybe they want you to just stick to the script.
Well, mistake.
Wait.
Brilliant.
I want you to explain this.
It wasn't that brilliant.
But explain it to me.
And the cast was lovely. Cast was terrific.
All right, but explain it to me. They wrote a script. They send it to you.
Right.
And you agree to do it.
Because you always figure, when I did Suddenly Susan, you go in, I worked with Kathy, you ad-libbed and you came out with something terrific.
But you know on a lot of these shows.
I did Nip Tuck. What can you do to do it? You've got a writer who's funny. Let her give you an input. And I always say, if you like, let me try it. You don't like it, we'll throw it away. I never say.
But some writers and some shows
obviously
are very scared or afraid to let go of their words. They want them exact.
Fine.
And, so...
Fine. And they had them exact. My big joke was, "Gee, is the minister here?"
You were disappointed because you felt you didn't come off funny.
I came off like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then they called me and they said they want to put it up for a...
Emmy.
And I said no.
It's not Emmy.
It's not my best work.
And
now,
you've won Emmys.
2 weeks later, I go down to do Drop Dead Diva.
Right.
And they said, "Let's work together. It's going to be so adorable."
What is Drop Dead Diva?
It's on ABC. USA.
It's a scripted show?
Scripted show. But again, you come in on Monday, you're shooting on Friday.
They said, why don't you add some Joan Rivers to this?
And let's see. And if we don't, and I always say, if you don't like it, don't use it.
So you got insulted.
And on the Betty White show, not inside. I just thought, you morons. I've been on Broadway.
But won't there be
they
chaos?
Didn't go for the best.
But won't there be chaos if everybody comes in with their own lines and their own ideas?
Don't hire a comedian who is a writer and give them on Monday a script that isn't particularly funny. And the jokes did not get laughs that they gave me.
They probably thought it was funny, though. You understand?
Yeah, of course. I'm a writer. I've written the script. But if you walked in now and said, "Let me try this," I'd say, "Try it. Let's see."
Right. Be a little experimental.
Let's see. It's Monday. By Wednesday, we'll say yes or no.
It's always a bad experience.
It was a terrible experience. And not the
cast.
The cast was adorable. Because I really loved the cast.
Yeah, well, what do they care?
I didn't say goodbye to anybody when I walked out.
You didn't. You were that pissed. But you were professional. Right. You did the show.
And I was so upset I couldn't memorize the lines.
And haven't you even said you don't particularly... You're angry with Betty White because you were in line to get all these old age parts.
Yeah, and then that bitch came back.
And she's getting every single part.
Well,
she's beating you out on every single audition.
She got the "I'm full and I can't get up" commercial.
That's
You
right.
know how many times I've laid on my bathroom floor?
And meanwhile, by the way, do you own that device? I can't get up?
Melissa gave it to me, but she won't give me the batteries.
Because I would think that would be good, just in case you fall
Just
down.
in case I fall.
But there's nobody around if you fall, right?
Well, I have a Swiffer. Is that what they call those terrible machines? Or a Rolly? What do they call those?
It's I don't know what they call it. But I know
the little mop thing?
The thing you'd sit on. They always have the old lady smiling.
Oh, the scooter.
The scooter-wooter. And there's Grandma smiling because she's right. And the face of the family is always like, "Oh, fuck, the old bitch is moving again."
People say to me, "Did Joan really smoke pot on her show?" You really, because sometimes on these reality shows can be staged a little bit.
Yeah, ours is.
You went and took the joint.
It was so much fun.
Did you smoke with Melissa?
Oh, she gets very angry. She smokes a little.
She smokes, but she won't smoke with you.
No, she's wrong.
What do you mean she's wrong?
I think we'd have a great time.
If you smoke together?
Yeah.
She doesn't want to smoke with you because you're her mother.
I know.
She doesn't want every barrier broken.
Yeah.
So who did you smoke marijuana with?
I smoked marijuana with my friend Lynn Coplitz on the show.
Is she your age?
Nobody's my age.
But is she?
No, she's Lynn is probably in her late 40s.
And so you.
We laughed. You laugh. You just.
And how many times did you inhale the marijuana?
It didn't take that often, that much, because I hadn't done it for 40 years.
You would smoke probably back in the Lenny Bruce days or something.
I smoked. Last I smoked was in Lake Tahoe, probably in 1980.
1980, you smoked, and so you took it. And you took what? How many drags on it?
Oh, a lot. I was having a very good time.
And you don't get paranoid. You don't.
I just laugh and laugh and laugh.
You do.
Everything strikes me as funny.
And did you go to Melissa, your daughter, and say, "Look, now I want to smoke marijuana with you. This will be a good time."
No, I think we're going to go call her when I get off of here.
Yeah, but you didn't discuss it with her.
She has a new clothing line for Zappos, which is great.
Right.
And so I'm going to say to her, when you sell your first, 25,000 dresses, we'll smoke pot together.
Does she smoke weed? She really does?
Yeah.
Yeah. She tells you, Mom, I smoke weed, but I don't want to smoke with you specifically.
Yeah.
She feels it would bum her out.
Yeah. I think, I'm the mother.
I was reading, and this might be irrelevant to a lot of younger people who listen to the show, but did you make love, back in the day, did you bang Robert Vaughn, the famous movie actor?
No, I would have.
No, not Robert Vaughn. Wait, I got the name. Robert Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum?
You banged Robert. Yeah, Robert Vaughn was Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Right.
Robert Mitchum was a very famous, good-looking movie star.
Fabulous
Rugged,
looking.
yeah.
You
Soul
fucked
of
him.
a poet.
How did you bang the soul of a poet?
I met him on the Tonight Show.
Look at the smile on your face.
Yeah, she's still smiling.
Calm
He was
down.
great.
When you
He's
say great, you mean
he was sexy, great looking man. Go look at some of those old
big
movies.
penis?
Everything was perfect.
No shit. What happened?
And he was a poet. He was amazing.
He just wasn't good looking. He was amazing.
He was amazing.
Did you smoke pot with him? He was a big pot smoker.
Yeah, we
you
smoked
did.
a little pot.
How? Look at the
Now,
smile
what
on
was
your face.
great?
Look at you. And you don't even light. You don't light up like this when I bring up Edgar.
Well, Edgar, I was married to.
Right.
Robert Mitchum was a one-night stand.
Was it one night?
Yeah, it was great.
Were you disappointed it was one night?
Oh, I would have, if he had said toot toot, let's go.
Right.
I would have said, Melissa who?
Right.
I would have sold it to Octomom.
So wait a minute. I'm trying to. You were married and you had a one.
Oh, let's not go there.
Oh wow! You had a child.
Yeah, I was married.
You were married. Robert Mitchum wants
Comes
to
on
bang.
the Tonight Show.
Go ahead.
And he's the guest, and he's
Right.
very charming, and we had a drink after, and it was fabulous.
You cheated on your husband.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you go home and tell him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello, Edgar. Let me tell you.
Did Edgar ever find out?
And the next time Edgar and I made love, I said, Robert Mitchum.
Hey Edgar, you're not that. You know Robert Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum.
Did
You
you?
can't even write a couplet.
Before Edgar died, you never confessed.
No.
So you now talk about this because Edgar is gone.
He's dead. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't hurt
Was there a lot of cheating on
No,
Edgar?
no,
Be honest.
No. I mean,
a couple
no.
of times?
3 times.
Because you were in show business and
And it's 20 years.
right.
And especially when you're on the road with a play, you get very
lonely.
You get lonely, and it's very intense work.
And it's intense also that Robert Mitchum, a very famous A-list movie star, wants to have sex with you. I mean, it's almost intoxicating.
And he was, as I said, he knew poetry. He knew books. He wasn't what you saw on the screen.
Was he much older than you at that point?
Oh, no, probably.
Yeah, and
Yeah, he was an older man, but still older. I was probably in my 30s, and he was older. He was probably 52.
Was he a married man at that point too? Were the both of you married?
I think he was always married.
He was always married.
Yeah.
And so he sees you on the Tonight Show, and let's face it, you're very seductive on the Tonight Show.
Yeah,
you're very
sure.
good you're very good at your craft. Don't be honest.
And I was funny, and I was
Right,
young, and
right.
what the hell?
And so he
I don't
says
think
to you,
I don't think he'd be sitting and smiling now about me.
right. He said, who knows?
He'd probably say, Joan who?
But he
Never happened. Who? Oh, yeah.
But so when he says to you on the Tonight Show, you're sitting there with Johnny.
Have a drink afterwards.
Let's have a drink. Oh my God, your heart must have been a flutter.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God, look at your face.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's great. It's great.
I mean, you're like, I could see
Yeah.
you're imagining him fucking you.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
could see it. Did you feel guilty at all
Oh, you feel terribly sad. Terribly guilty.
about when you go back to bed with
Yeah,
Edgar?
with that guy. Terrible. terrible.
Yeah, and you're like,
Terrible.
how do you get past? Not that bad.
She got over it.
All right, because you still light up thinking about it.
Yeah.
Did he give you an orgasm, Robert Mitchum?
We can move on to something.
Why? This is fascinating to me that you cheated.
Obviously, it was a nice evening.
Yeah, he has the drink, and you're easy. I mean, you go right.
I'm easy.
Like you didn't even.
You didn't even have dinner.
My feet were on the table during the drink.
You knew when he asked you for a drink, you were going to fuck him.
2 feet were on that bar.
So you go for drinks. Were you afraid that people would see that you were having a drink with a man?
No, it's business.
We
just done the show.
Monkey business.
Yeah, we just done the show.
So no hesitation at all, and you're sitting there.
Oh yeah, you're shocked, but also you're just swept off your feet.
And so,
like, where do they go? Do they go to a hotel?
Of course.
Somewhere in Santa Barbara. I really
went back to his place?
No, we went to a very pretty place in Santa
Listen, everyone who was involved is dead. You don't have to worry. I mean, what do you mean? You're acting like this is going to be in the National Enquirer. It's Robert Mitchum. For God's sake.
Nobody cares. You know when they talk about these names and
right.
they say, who cares?
But remember in that day, Robert Mitchum, he was a big star.
Yeah, and he was great.
Would you have left Edgar for Robert Mitchum, seriously?
I certainly would have thought about it.
Right. And so he takes you
but
back.
I would have left. I would have given Edgar the house.
Right.
I would have given him Melissa.
Hey, that's enough. Who wouldn't want a little beautiful baby like Melissa? So here, Edgar, you raised this thing.
I'm off with Robert Mitchum.
Yeah, give us a call.
Was there any part of you hoping that he would knock you up that night?
No, I never thought about that. Wouldn't that be great?
Well, he fucked you without a rubber, right? I mean, back in those days, they didn't even have rubbers.
Yeah, this was pre-love.
You used cloth.
Right. He fucked you through a sheet. Seriously, he entered you without any...
We're gonna... Can we please?
Why?
That's enough.
No, it isn't. It's not enough.
Did Melissa know? Have you talked to her?
She doesn't ask you.
And did you call Edgar that night and go, hi, honey?
Could be a little late.
The excuse.
I would be a little bit late. You weren't out the whole night, were you?
You walked the dog.
Did you do that? You're going to need to walk the dog tonight.
It's reality.
Did you spend the whole night with Robert Mitchum?
No.
You left. He fucked you and he threw you out.
Well, you remember you really taped from 5 to 7.
Right.
So you had from 7 to 11:30. Not tragic.
Yeah, right. And so he didn't.
I meant nothing to him. I can assure you.
Yeah, right.
But
and then you did the walk of shame, right?
Oh, the walk of shame.
You're all dressed up for the Tonight Show. Your hair's all messed up.
Lipstick's a little.
Lipstick all messy from semen stains on your chin. I mean, did you blow him?
I'm not going there.
Tell me the truth.
I can't remember.
You remember every detail of that. Tell me when you masturbate, you don't think about Robert Mitchum entering you. You're like, oh, Bob.
Well, now you think how old they are.
I mean, but seriously, when you mentioned that you masturbate, do you ever say, oh, wow, you think about Robert Mitchum nude?
No. But I do see the movies. It's so funny.
Do you go back and watch the movies?
Yes.
Yes. And do you get wet?
No, but I just think, oh, my God.
Wow.
There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Look at
great.
you.
Well, at this age, you got his memories.
Did you ever try to make it happen again with him? Did you ever?
No.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Mr. Mitchum.
I would say every night, we should have him back on the show.
Too bad we can't.
Hey, come on, guys. How about instead of Cher, let's get Robert Mitchum.
Was he your only famous guy that you had?
The only famous... No, there's another one. There was an actor. But
who was the other one?
New York actor.
What was his name?
Gabe Dell.
Gabe Dell?
Yeah.
You're going to put him in the same league?
No, you asked.
Did you call him Bob or Robert Mitchum? Or you didn't just Mr. Mitchum?
Mr. Mitchum.
Oh, Mr. Mitchum.
It sounds like
Mitchum.
It sounds like you only knew him for a few short minutes. So it's like you probably didn't call him anything, right? But have you ever touched yourself thinking about Robert Mitchum?
I'm not going to go there.
Why not? Why not go there?
No. But because he's old now, and you just...
Old?
It's so...
Isn't he
he's dead?
He's
dead.
old now.
That's old.
He's dead. Who cares if you jerk off to Robert Mitchum?
You don't want to jerk off to dead people.
I mean, my God. Oh, you wouldn't jerk off because he's dead?
Well...
But did you sometimes, when you were in bed with Edgar, go, oh, if this was Robert Mitchum?
Well, one does have fantasies.
Yeah. But none of your cheating was an ongoing affair. It was always a one-night stand? Or
Gabe Dell was a big affair.
Gabe Dell.
And I left Edgar over that.
You did?
Really?
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
so how did you end up back with
3
Edgar?
weeks, and then I just thought, this is crazy.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, Gabe
Look
was...
at you wild woman.
Yeah.
Man, you were out there fucking like a rabbit.
Oh, you have no idea.
I mean, Gabe
I barely
Dell?
had a chance to write jokes.
I mean, Gabe Dell said to you, listen, I want to be with you.
No, I think it scared Gabe.
It did.
But yeah, we started together on a Broadway show, and you have this big, intense, you're on the road, and you're bringing it in, you're working late at night and all that stuff, and you're kissing on stage, bing, 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 bing. And then the show closed, and they continued a little bit. Yeah. And then it got too...
it was too...
And he liked me. He used to sit in front of my house. I was with Edgar and smoke cigarettes.
Oh, wow. Like a stalker.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was scary.
He wanted you.
Edgar never caught on to any of this?
I think Edgar knew. I think Edgar knew somewhere was Gabe.
Let's dig up Gabe, and let's dig up Robert Mitchum, and we'll have a whole show.
Let's see what they were buried with and get the jewelry.
So you think Edgar knew that you were cheating with Gabe?
I think he knew that. I think he knew.
Wow. Oh,
well, that's the way it goes.
Did he ever confront you?
No. No, Edgar's English.
You whore! Hey, you whore!
Melissa, tell the whore to come downstairs.
Your mother, the whore.
Go get the whore.
Wasn't it true you had a night of passion with Larry Fine of the Three Stooges?
No. Oh, yes. And that, you see how I glow?
Talk about Larry Fine and him entering.
How with a banana.
He didn't use a rubber.
Use a banana.
He had a big red nose on. No, but
how could you? Don't you laugh when you realize these guys had sex lives?
No, I understand.
Like the Three Stooges.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They actually had sex with people.
If you know anything about the Three Stooges, the amazing thing is that Curly, the shaved head one,
right?
He was the ladies' man. That Mo was married, Larry was married. Curly would fuck like a rabbit, and he was so tortured because in the Three Stooges they wanted him to have a shaved head and they wanted to keep him fat, and he was a phenomenal ballroom dancer who loved women and fucked like crazy. And he was the ladies' man. And who would believe that? If you read the history of the Three Stooges, which I have because I love them, and I would have thought you would have been one of the conquests of
Oh, what about the Marx Brothers?
Do you still remember, was Robert Mitchum the best-looking guy you ever banged in your entire life?
Just the most masculine. It was the whole
masculine,
package.
Right.
He was the package, yeah.
Right.
Everything.
And when he was a cigarette smoker, and so were you back in the day, right?
No, but I let him smoke.
You did? He smoked after he banged you?
Yeah, he used to put the ashes in my belly button. Oh, Bob, you silly boy.
Go ahead, use me as your ashtray, Bob.
Use me as your ashtray. I don't care.
He could have wrecked your life.
Yeah,
do you remember?
What a scandal.
But you know how great to have a couple of good memories like that.
Oh, absolutely. Do you remember like the size and shape of his penis?
No.
You don't? Like, is it not that detailed?
Those were different kind of days. You didn't kind of like look that much.
But when a guy is that hot and when he enters you, do you come immediately? Do you just...
Can we just change...
Do you have an orgasm immediately?
Can we go back to my book, please?
Was that the first time you had an orgasm?
No.
Oh, Edgar never gave you an orgasm in a minute.
Well, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, I'm out of my mind. Don't you know? Yeah. What am I doing on a family television show? Was he much bigger?
Let me ask you.
Was Robert Mitchum bigger than Edgar?
Yes, he was.
His penis, I mean. Was it thicker and bigger?
Why don't we call... I wonder what do we tell the wife's alive?
I'm going to dig them all up and compare penis size. Is it true that you let Ed Sullivan finger you? That is
He wouldn't have remembered.
Let's get back to your book. Oh, he would have remembered.
Ed Sullivan at 50 was... early Alzheimer's.
He was, right? Was that true, or was it just that
No. He would... I remember one time they treated him like gold. He was saying had to do a commercial, and he did it 5 times, and 5 times he did it wrong. They were going to put it into the show.
Was it that he couldn't really... He wasn't showbiz and he couldn't read?
He just couldn't do it. And he had a wonderful son-in-law named Bob Precht, who treated him let's try it again, Ed. Let's try it again.
Wow.
And the 5th time, finally, Bob said, that's fine, Ed.
And you saw this personally because you used to appear on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Was that like the most pressure in your career, the Ed Sullivan Show?
It was insane.
More than even Johnny Carson, because that was a primetime Sunday night show. The world was watching. Talk about make or break an appearance.
Talk about, it was live, so everybody was... You did dress rehearsal, which was dead people and Girl Scouts.
Right.
So nobody laughed.
Right.
So they said, well, Joan Rivers is going to do 7.5 minutes tonight. Now you get the nighttime audience, and it goes to 11 minutes.
Wow.
Well, if you've gone longer, that means Edie Gourmet can't sing He Came Into My Life. He can just sing I Came Into.
Yeah, you got to be dead. And Ed could hold a grudge. If you didn't do a good job or you screwed someone else over, if you went to 11 minutes, he would have fucked you good.
When they... one time somebody went short and they came backstage to me and it was all live.
Right.
And they said, stretch. And you know what I said to them? tell my husband, because Edgar would have killed me if I added material.
Weren't you on one night with Senor Wences and you ended up making love to him?
Yeah, sure. To his hands.
The one-night stand with Senor Wences?
Yeah, right.
Hello.
But I mean, do you remember like who you used to appear with on there? I mean,
Woody, I have a picture of the Fifth Dimension, Woody Allen and me, and we're all watching the screen backstage, terrified.
And so it was a great show.
It was a great show because you had to be live. You had no second chances.
When you did the Ed Sullivan Show, did your career change dramatically the next day?
Carson gave you New York, L.A., the big cities. Ed Sullivan gave you America. He put his arm around you. He has a little Joan Rivers.
Right.
The Midwest said welcome.
And he really, you think now that you think back on it, he was suffering from Alzheimer's disease back then?
He was at the end. Yeah, it was very, and she was wonderful. His wife, she protected him. She watched him.
It's an amazing story. Ed Sullivan was like a gossip columnist who got his own TV show. He was horrible on TV.
No personality.
But it made it good. He was so stiff and so out of it.
Right.
You loved it.
You love it. And the show was a great show. It was before everyone had their own specials. You saw everybody. You saw opera, and then Dolly Parton came out, and then Joan Rivers came out.
See,
it
that's
was
why
sort of like America's Got Talent.
That's why I was just going to say I like doing America's Got Talent because it has all these variety acts.
That's what makes it interesting.
It's fun.
It's fun, and it's not the same thing.
Oh, I lived for that Ed Sullivan
you could see
show.
Joan Rivers and bell ringers, you know.
Yeah,
exactly.
Omar who spun the plates.
Yeah, and Topo Gigio and all those cool
And then
things.
right after that, Richard Burton would come out and do something from Shakespeare.
Would you send like Ed Sullivan a gift after you appear? Like, I mean, you probably felt so grateful to him.
I loved him, and he loved me. And they would buy you your clothes for the show.
Wow.
And if they liked you,
you got to keep them.
They would walk upstairs, and they would say, Mr. Sullivan, it was a whole thing, would like you to have your gown.
Oh, wow.
But you never knew. You took it off, you hung it up, you put it in the closet. And then they would come in and say, Mr. Sullivan would like you to have your gown.
How many times did you appear on Ed Sullivan?
31 times.
31 times.
Made my life.
That's an accolade.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal.
And I adored him, because he liked me.
I mean, and how many female comics even got on at that point?
Little Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers. Who else got on there? Toady Fields, maybe.
Toady was before me. Woody.
Woody, right.
And Woody was... And